Hello and a big welcome to DXC Arena here in Darwin. TIO Strike League match number 2 and the game between City Cyclones and Southern Storm. T20 should be a terrific match. Hope you can stay with us. Beautiful dry season night in Darwin. It's a day-night match and should be a terrific game. We can't wait to get our teeth into it. Look, I'd like to acknowledge the Larrakia people, the traditional owners of the land we're on, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I'd also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching the broadcast. Joining me in broadcast, he played last Sunday for the Desert Blaze. His name's Max Hatzkoglu, and he's with us. Max, hello.
Good evening, Charlie, I should say. Great to be here, and it's good to be back after a short 3-day lockdown.
Bo Webster to start the game here. One.
And that looked like it was tucked around the corner for one from Jack Edwards, opening the batting with Keegan Oates.
Yeah. That's a few technical problems, but we've sorted them out. Here we go. Bo Webster again. Runs in and bowls in line with the stumps. Just dropped it away on the onside there. No chance of a run in any of that. Good match in front of us, Max, isn't there?
Absolutely. The Southern Storm, they've had a great campaign so far in the one-day competition, and now they're coming into the T20s. They've only lost one game from a total of 6, and this is their 7th game in the 365 competition.
So Keegan Oates, he's the batsman. Made 10 in the game against the Desert Blaze. Gets this in line with the stump and hit it back down the ground. Diving effort to catch. I'm not sure if he caught it. I think he might have. He's on his way. Take a walk. And off he goes. Keegan Oates out caught down there at straight hit, and he's gone.
And it's a great catch from Mac right there, the captain. Big bash player for the Hobart Hurricanes, and he's caught a fellow teammate out, a fellow person from the same state in Keegan Oates. So that's a good start for the Southern Storm, and the City Cyclones will need to bounce back here quite quickly and try and get this game back in their hands.
It's just a it's an automatic thing you do, don't you? When you bat, you know what shot you want to play, and you just play it, when really you need to be able to not play that shot really early on in the innings and put it in the air like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And early on in your innings, it's important to assess the conditions, and that was probably one that Keegan Oates will look back on and probably want to redo that, because he was hitting into the wind. So that's one thing to take note of, and for the listeners at home, they're hitting into the wind, so it's one that the batters will have to be wary of, and they should have learnt that from that wicket that just fell. So they'll need to keep that in mind.
So Nick Larkin, he made 39 and a pretty well compiled 39 in Sunday's match here. And he's facing Bo Webster, who's got his tail up. He's only bowled about 4 balls and he's got a wicket already. Good way to start.
Absolutely.
Good bowler?
Oh, of course. He's playing in the Big Bash state. Plenty of games under his belt.
Right arm over the wicket. This is tucked around the corner past square leg. Off they go for a single. They think about a second, decide against it. Throws okay, comes in. Wicketkeeper has to work hard. You were working hard as the wicketkeeper for the Blaze.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily, the fielders are doing a good job with the throws coming in, so there's not too many half volleys and not a lot of hard work. But yeah, it's good today. Michael Kudrow with the gloves, so he'll be looking to try and get a few catches here early.
So Jack Edwards on strike. He's Webster, big tall man, bowls, ball outside the off stump. He punches it away on the offside, out past point, and goes through for a single.
It's going to be interesting to see if this ball swings early on. In the first T20, didn't probably do as much as I thought it would, so it's going to be one to look out for early on.
So conditions good, weather's nice. It's just dry season evening, no different than any other dry season evening. And nice to be sitting at the cricket, Max, with you. Here comes Webster, runs in and bowls, and this is hit down through the covers or out towards the covers. No chance of a run there. Has a look at it. Nick Larkin.
You make a good point there, Charlie. Most nights here and most days, the weather's just beautiful every single day. That's one of the amazing things that I've found about coming to the top end, is the weather each day is quite beautiful, and it's no different tonight. There's a little bit of wind, but it could play into the favour of the batters at the airport development end, with them being able to hit over the top down the field.
So Keegan Oates out for a duck in the first over. Edwards on 2, Larkin on 1, Larkin on strike. Now he's at the airport end. No, he's not. He's at the TIO stadium end. What would he be taking there? Middle to middle? What would he be looking for? What was his request to the umpire? The umpires, by the way, for this match, Ken Johnson and John Tate.
Yeah, well, Josh Kahn opening the bowling here. He's had quite a good season with bat and ball, the all-rounder. So he's playing for Tracy Village up here in Darwin for the local competition, and he is from Queensland. So he'll be looking to try and get an early one here.
Josh Kahn?
Yeah, Josh Kahn, that's
Josh
it.
Kahn. Right arm over, charges in, it's fast bowler, big swoosh. Oh, took a chance at that one, Jack Edwards, didn't get any contact, fortunately.
Interesting, these two came up against each other not that long ago in the grade cricket up here.
Yeah.
That was just last game, so last weekend. So they've seen a bit of each other the last week.
Who took the points?
Tracy Village took the points. Yeah, it was quite a comfortable victory in the end. Tracy Village made 370, and they ended up bowling out the Waratahs for under 200.
So Josh Kahn, here he comes. He's a big man too. Ball outside the off stump. Gee, that was good too. Quick. A little bit of bounce for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be interesting to see the balance between attack and defence here from the batting team. Edwards and Larkin, 2 big bash players. They'll be backing themselves, but at the same time, they won't want to lose a wicket because the Cyclones have struggled a little bit throughout this whole tournament, and they'll be looking to try and get a big score.
Edwards 2, Larkin 1. Edwards on strike. Faces Kahn as he runs in from the airport end over the wicket. Hits this up through, try to get it through the covers, hit it straight to the fielder, no run.
And Josh Kahn, he's had some good news come his way. It was reported in the NT News that he's going to the Hurricanes for next season, so he has picked up a contract with the Big Bash team down there. So he'll be pretty excited and fired up for these T20s actually to try and be performing and try and get a spot in that round 1 team for the Big Bash in the Hobart Hurricanes.
Oh, good on him. Good luck to him. Here he goes. He looks like a pretty good bowler too. He's quick, he gets past the umpire now and bowls down the leg side. No chance of a run there, come off the pad. Now, I was just going to ask you, Max, whether we talk all-rounders in cricket. There's a person who bats and wicket keeps an all-rounder. I mean, do you see yourself as an all-rounder?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Like this, it'd be the same question for Josh out there right now. He's an all-rounder. And my view is I don't like to sort of pick one or the other. I like to sort of do each of them as best as possible, but obviously sometimes there's one that's better than the other.
Here's Kahn to Edwards, and he works that away. That's a good shot. Out through mid-wicket and out to the boundary. He's gone all the way. That's 4. What a glorious shot. He's in good form, Edwards. That's a great shot.
Absolutely. He's coming off 100 not that long ago in grade cricket, and he'd be looking to score a big one today, and that was quite a good shot. Interesting ball that Kahn's bowled there, sitting up in the wind, but yeah, it's a good shot from Edwards, so well done to him.
I'd be hanging around the captain if I was one of the opening bowlers, trying to convince him that I should bowl with the wind.
Absolutely. In the warm-up, you'll be hoping for the captain to give you that privilege. Nice shot there from Jack Edwards. That's 6 off the over there, so not a bad over for both sides really. It's quite balanced so far.
Edwards 8, Larkin 1, the wicket to fall. That of Keegan Oates, caught right bowled Webster for no score. Went in I think it was the 3rd ball of the match. He tried to hit it straight back over the bowler's head and he was caught down at mid-off.
Absolutely, and with these power plays, I remember we were having our pre-game discussion the other day just before the first T20 playing for the Desert Blaze, and actually it was actually in the first training session. We'll just see this first ball.
It's Larkin. Has it with him now and hits this away. Didn't time it as well as he wanted to. Hit it straight to the fielder at a point.
Yeah, so we had a chat in the first session just before our first game, and the discussion was, do you go hard in the power play, because it's got reduced from 6 overs to 4,
yeah.
So you only get 4 overs now with 2 fielders out. So the batters, obviously, that's less balls that they've got to get themselves in. So is it worth the risk of trying to go?
Larkin with it now, drops it on the ground, and sneaks in for a quick single. They run for diving at the far end, and they scampered through for a single. And I'm not sure I'm not sure Nick Larkin would appreciate that, but it was a single anyway. They got the run.
Absolutely, that's a funny one there. Just looked like a miscommunication between the batters.
So one word would have been exchanged there when they walked up and touched gloves together. Larkin would have said, "Talk."
Correct.
Call.
Spot on, Charlie. Yep.
I saw watching the English Test match. I'll come back to that in a moment. Here comes Webster to Edwards, and that's a great shot. Didn't he belt that away? Boy, didn't he get hold of that. Hammered it out in front of square leg, and it's gone 4. Was that a 4?
It was. A few bounces, I think. What a shot, though, by Jack Edwards.
Yes, and the captain was... We'll just stay with this. Here's the replay of it. Yeah, just hammered it, timed it beautifully, belted it away. And he looked up to the other batsman, and he just, with his gloves, went, you know, like the glove muppet or something. You know, those little...
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't have to say much more.
Yeah.
Edwards on 12. Hits this and dabs it away on the offside and ambles through for a single. They're looking pretty good, Cyclones. Good start. They did start well, though, I must say, last week in that game that you played against them. They looked okay earlier on. Both batsmen looked pretty comfortable. I think might have been Edwards and Oates might have batted. I think they got about 10 each, but they looked okay. Yeah,
they did. They started off well. They didn't lose many wickets early on, and they set themselves a pretty good platform. Nick Larkin made 39, and Jack Edwards, he got...
Yeah, belts that. That's a glorious shot. He just stood and delivered, didn't he? He just hammered that away. That's a great shot. He's hit a couple of great shots out there. He's in top form.
Yeah.
Wonderful shot.
Oh, absolutely. Nick Larkin, he's come out of the quarantine down at Howard Springs, 14 days, and he would have had a lot of time to think about this, wouldn't he? So it's a bit of a mental challenge, I imagine, but he's come out, first game, got 39, and now he's off to a pretty decent start, 6 off 5 balls.
I had a friend in Howard Springs quarantine. He said, there's a lot of minutes that you spend in there. This is pushed out towards the covers, no run. Yeah. It's 14 days. There's a lot of minutes in 14 days with his point.
Absolutely. I actually did quarantine there, and I was lucky because I had my brother to talk to. But yeah, for some of the others on there by themselves, I imagine it'd be a bit different.
Into the third over, Edwards 13, Larkin 6, 1 for 19. Max Hatzoglu with me.
Hatzoglu.
I'm going to have trouble with that.
Yeah.
I'll just go with Max.
Yep. Yeah, you can go with Max. I'll tell you what, you're not the only one though, Charlie. Peter, who was my brother, he played in the Big Bash last season,
yeah.
and a lot of commentators had trouble, so don't worry, you're not the only one.
I think there was a sportsman called Hatzoglu.
Oh.
Not Hatzoglu.
Yeah.
Hatzoglu, 4 syllables.
Yeah. Yep, I'm going to have to do a bit of research there.
It's just familiar to me. Back with Josh Khan to Edwards, stands up straight, Edwards. Hits this away on the offside, doesn't get a run. What do you think of the stance where they actually stand with the bat up rather than down on the ground? What do you do? We didn't see you bat, so we don't know.
Yeah, well, I like to have my bat nice and high, but that's sort of always just come naturally to me, and I think it'd be the same for every other batter, whatever sort of they've gone with. But yeah, if it's quite a fast bowler bowling, that backlift might sometimes batters tend to shorten the backlift.
Yeah. Let's see what he does with this one. Hits it away on the onside. Went out to mid-on, no run.
And that's Blade Baxter who fielded that ball at mid-on. He's had a outstanding past few months, really. He's he led the wickets in the one-day competition. They had 6 games in the one-day comp, and he ended up with 14 wickets and led with the wickets in that competition. So he'd be fired up for this one, and I'm sure he'll go well again.
First change bowler, do you think? Here we go. Ball. It's shaped as though he was going to hit that on the offside, and it finished up out on the leg side. Went through for a single.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think in the last game that the Southern Storm played, he was the last bowler to come on. He still ended up taking 3 wickets in that last game, so it's going to be interesting to see when they use him in this game.
It was 14 from 13 and Larkin 6 from 6, so they're going to run a ball slightly better. 1 for 20, 3 and a bit overs gone. Sun just starting to set off in the west. It's glided that away down to deep third man and then scampered through for a single. When the sun starts to set and the lights start to take effect, is that a difficult time to bat and field and bowl?
Yeah, when you're playing in a big stadium, it can be when that shadow covers half of the pitch. It definitely that sort of situation is challenging. I remember in the last game I had to call for my glasses because of the sun and how low it was, and it was shining nice and bright.
So here comes Khan. Ball outside the off stump and works it away on the onside for a single. Yeah,
so definitely for some of the outfielders and any fielder really, if they're looking into the sun, it can be a challenge, and they'd either have glasses on or they'd really be hoping that the ball doesn't come to them and they've got to catch with the ball in line with the sun.
Last ball of this second over from Khan. No weird for 9 so far. Like this to be a dot ball. Larkin will be thinking, I wouldn't mind some more runs here. Let's see what he gets. There's an appeal turned down by the umpire.
Looked like
might have been a bit high.
Yeah. It looked like it swung in a bit as well. Josh Khan. That's a pretty good over there for his second.
1 for 22. Edwards 15. Larkin 7. City Cyclones playing the Southern Storm here at the DXC Arena in Darwin, out at Marara, right next door to the airport.
And also right next to the TIO Stadium. Now, those lights, they look quite impressive, and the ones here are just as impressive. How long have the TIO Stadium lights been around for? Do you know, Charlie?
Those are probably a dozen years, I'd say. At least a dozen years.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
And as we say hi to Tony Judd, the coach of the Southern Storm, just walking past.
The coach doing the lap.
Yeah. Got his mask on, nice and safe.
He's going to have a look down the wicket. So he's in a good position. Yes, we've just come out of lockdown for those of you that are in lockdown around Australia. We know what it's like, but we only had 3 days of it. But that was enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not the best situation, and we're quite lucky. Well done to everyone in the territory for following the rules, and yeah.
This is Simons now? Simons?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yep.
It's hit away on the offside. That's a really good shot. He just, wow, they're both in real good form, aren't they? He just leaned into that and belted it through the offside for 4.
This has got the prospect of being quite a damaging partnership if this really gets off the ground and gets going. These two, you know, at a high level, so they could really take this game out of the hands of the Southern Storm.
So Brody Simons, this is down to mid-on, no run. Edwards 19, Larkin 7. Simons none for 4 from the first couple of balls. 1 for 26. Current run rate 6.
Yes, and this game is quite in the balance so far, I think. 26 off 26 balls. So yeah, as you said, the 6 and over the run rate, and it's quite important this stage in the game.
So Simon ball, good ball tossed up in line with the off stump and handled pretty well by Jack Edwards. Let's have a look at this. There it is in replay. Yorker dug it out. Edwards on strike, the dominant partner in this partnership. It's straight back down the ground. They'll get a couple here. Get through for 2. It's a nice shot. You can tell the shot's by the sound, can't you, whether it's a good shot or not, whether it hits the middle of the bat. It makes a different sound, doesn't it, when it hits right in the middle of the bat?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You can tell straight away, and especially some of the state cricketers, they get to pick up the really nice sticks that differentiate themselves from all the others, so you can really hear it.
Oh, that's a good shot too. Leaned into that, smashed it away to third man. They ripped through. Did they go for a single? Just the one.
Jack Edwards, he's playing a few games for the Waratahs up here in Darwin, so he's been playing plenty of cricket, keeping himself nice and busy up here.
He just made 10 on Sunday in the game against you guys. But here he is having a pretty good time of it. Works this away off the pads. No run. Thought about it. Dangerous. Run out, you just don't want to get run out, do you?
No.
I mean, late in the game, it's probably okay if you have to.
Yeah. It's just a waste, really, as a batter. Yeah, you never want to get run out because it's not really a technical error. It's more of a different aspect of the game that you never want to sort of be a problem for in your game. But Jack Edwards, he'd be wanting to score some runs for the Cyclones, but he did well playing for the Cricket Australia 11 in the Chamber top end series where he got 106 in one of the games, and he actually did get run out that game, but he has got 100 under his belt, and he also scored one playing for the Waratahs against Darwin, 113 batting at number 3. So he'll be looking to try and do that again, I'm sure.
Now, there was a good Australian Test cricketer, Edwards, from the West, Ross Edwards, back in my time, which I must say, Max, would be a long time before your time. But he was a good cover fieldsman and a good bat as well.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch a bit of footage.
Yeah. You'll be Google him up, Ross Edwards, and see what it tells you.
Yeah. That'll be great to watch. Now, Kyle Scrimmagore's coming on now to bowl from the airport end, and he's born and bred up here, and he's playing in South Australia for Prospect.
He's a lefty, charges in. Geez, a busy approach, and this hit the middle of the bat, so nearly went for 4. They're going to get at least a couple.
He'll be quite consistent with his length. That's one of his strengths. So he'll be charging in, trying to hit that length and try and get the batters off guard here. He bats as well. He's a bit of an all-rounder. He's a left-hand batter, and I shouldn't say a bit of an all-rounder. He'll get back to me on that. He's a genuine all-rounder, and he can bat and bowl.
Geez, he's got a fast approach, hasn't he? He's not a big man, but as he runs for him too, he's worked this away. He'll just cut it off. Good effort. No one there in support. They're going to turn this into 3. Here's the throw. Whips it into the bowler's end.
Well fielded there from Sam Fanning on the boundary. WA product.
So Edwards 27. Larkin still on 7. Gee, Edwards he's attacking the bowling, isn't he? 27 off 21.
He's definitely got the potential to put them on the back foot.
The busy scrimger. This is hit up the mid-off. Jogged through for a single.
And that was fielded by Riley Mark, who just came up to the tournament for the top end series, playing for the Cricket Australia 11, who they had a team sort of made up of under 19s players around Australia, but it was also topped up with the likes of Chris Tremaine, Jack Edwards and Jason Sanger, and a bit of experience around the group. So he's made the decision to stay on and play in this.
Scrimmage bowls. Got that to jump a little bit. Knocked down on the offside, no run.
And Captain Mac Wright, he's going to be one to look out for in the batting innings. I'm sure he'll open the batting, and he will be one that's going to be quite dangerous for the Cyclones bowling attack.
Took that catch to get rid of Oates for a duck in the first over. He waited on that. He just stood there and waited for it. He was calm. And then he hammered it out. It should have went for 4, apart from some good fielding and deep cover just inside the rope.
And that breeze is still blowing quite heavily towards this end, and yeah, the batters right now have got the wind behind them, so they've got mid off and mid on back. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think they'll take it on. That might be a bit risky.
In a jumpy screen here, Scrimgeour bowls that. Go through for a single. Yes, they did. End of the over. Now the screen has disappeared, so I can't give you the score.
They're working on it behind the scenes here. But the score is 1 for 38 off 6 overs.
Okay, you got it there. Good. That's their backup. That's a backup screen. And what is it? It's a
My Cricket app. the My Cricket app.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's
yeah, but this is a little iPad.
Oh, the iPad.
The
yeah.
iPad's perfect.
That's it.
1 for 38.
Yep.
Simons again. Is that Simons?
Yes, it is. Yep. Yep. Looks like he's coming on now again.
And Jack Edwards.
Yeah, Brody, he's got some good pace behind him.
He dabbed down on that. Flew off the bat, didn't it?
Absolutely. He's using that pace, which is quite a smart way to go about it. Use the pace of the bowler rather than try and go against it, especially when you're hitting into the wind.
Do you know what, Max? I was just having a look, and they got the field set really well for the bowling attack that they have. I mean, they're cutting these balls off that would ordinarily go for 4. They're almost getting hit straight to the field, aren't they?
Yeah.
The field is set well.
It's well placed.
Yeah, eluded the fielder, but the sweeper comes around. Whips the return in. What a return. Holy moly.
Yes, and that's Sam Fanning there. He's got a good arm. That'll be one for the batters to keep an eye on and make sure they're aware of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Charlie. The field is set quite well. They've protected the boundary nicely. They've got the third man and fine leg back, which is quite a good field setting from Mac Wright, the captain, because the wind is blowing down towards them, so not a bad decision.
That was a short. Meanwhile, the sun, if I look over to our left, I can see it just about getting to. We have some stunning sunsets here, don't we, down on the beach and Fanny Bay and those areas.
Oh, it's just fantastic.
Glorious.
Yeah, you'd be too used to it now, Charlie, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you don't look at it as like you used to. I remember when I first came here in '66, I just couldn't believe it. Got a big, thick outside edge on this and belted it down to third man for 1. We were talking about this last Sunday, Max, about when you play those shots, sometimes it's better to play them slow rather than hit them fast, because you'll get, gets to the fielder too quick and you can only pick up a single, whereas if you played it slowly, you might be able to get 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. They do talk about that.
He's had enough. He's belted this away. That's going to go for 4. No, fielder gets out there and cuts it off. Wasn't timed quite as well as I thought it was.
Well fielded from the Kyle Scrimmagore there.
So still having a few little technical problems here.
And I think I've gone off. Oh.
Here we go. We're back on.
Awesome.
So Scrimger, no wicket for 8. Bowling to Edwards on 29. Comes forward, hits it straight back to the bowler.
Yeah, you make a good point about batters sometimes hitting it hard to the fielders rather than placing it and dropping it a little bit shorter. They do talk about making sure, trying to place the ball so it's just outside the inner circle.
Yeah.
And often when you place it in that area, you can run back for a 2. So that'll be something even now while there's 5 fielders out that the batters will trying to be doing and picking up some 2s instead of 1s.
And the other benefit in that, of course, is you make the fielders work. If you play it slow, they've got to run in and get it, whereas if you hit it straight to them, they basically stand there and get it and throw it back.
Yeah, that's right.
You just work them all.
Yeah.
Give them couple of turns each every couple of overs.
Yep. And you can quickly get sweaty up here as well.
Here's Edwards on strike. He's on 29 from 23. Gets us outside the off stump and hits it through the offside out towards deep cover. It's good fielding out there. That return again's a ripper. You'd like to be the keeper on the end of cricket. Get great returns like that when you're keeping.
most of the time it's like that. Yeah, on the odd occasion you might get some bad throws, but certainly as a junior, as you get around that under 16s level, the throws, they do start to improve from that age group, which is quite nice for the keepers.
This is hit high out there on the offside, backed out towards deep third man.
That's well bowled from Kyle. He can get some movement off the pitch, Kyle, and also some swings. So that's well bowled, and he's started off his first 2 overs well today.
No wicket for 8. So Larkin 8, Edwards 29. Run rate 6.34. Scrimjaw. Did that go straight through to the keeper?
Yes, I think it did. I think it caught the underneath the bat, and it was a bunt ball in the end.
Yeah, there it was. Scrimjaw, he's not a big man, is he? And he just really runs in hard, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He works hard on his run up, and he gets quite a bit of pace out of it. Let's have a look at him, the lefty. Is he getting close to the bowl? Umpire knows out wide. Bowls it across the line, and that's belted away. That's a big shot. That's gone for 4 runs. Glorious hit. That made the fielder work.
Yeah, great shot from Edwards there. Stepped across his stumps and opened up the leg side. So a nice shot there, and he's starting to get his innings moving, and the Cyclones are looking quite good in this batting innings, which has been something they've sort of struggled with in the past. They haven't scored big scores, big totals, so they're doing that today, which is good.
But you look at the 6 runs and over and you think that's pretty good, but you need more. That's another 4. That's a good shot as well. They beat the fielder out there. But if you get 6 runs and over, you're going to get 120 for the game. So you need more than that, don't you? You need 100 and what's par? 140, 130?
Yeah. Well, we spoke about that before the broadcast, and yeah, 150.
150.
We think at the Desert Blaze in our side, in our meeting, that's what we thought would be par.
Okay.
And that was, you know, thought of by different players in our team. Yeah, so we thought that would be the par score.
So Kyle Scrimjaw's been hit for 2 4s. This one's not going to go for 4. They'll just run through for a single. So 9 off those 3 balls. Bit expensive. Throw, bit astray. What sort of sign do you give to the fielder when you're not happy with the throw?
Yeah.
just a little glare.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Or a stare.
Yeah, I kind of just look down and keep running, and yeah, they'll know themselves, hopefully.
At inside, you think it'd get them up.
Yeah, that's right. Especially, I can accept it a couple of times, but after a while, the keepers probably start to get sick of it.
1 for 37, Edwards 29, Larkin 8. This is the City Cyclones batting after they were sent in by the Storm.
They were, and yeah, pretty good start from there. 1 for 56 off 8 overs, and they're looking like they're bringing on some spin here. Riley Mark from the Monash Cricket Club in Melbourne, Victoria. So he'll be looking to try and take a wicket here, and I actually have faced him. He's quite a good bowler, Riley, and he can turn them as well. You know, some spinners these days don't really turn the ball.
One for 56. That score there is not quite accurate. We'll see if we can sort that out. Edwards is on 29.
He's on
42.
42 off 31 now, and Nick Larkin 14 off 15.
14. I was working off the screen, which is incorrect. So we'll go with the iPad.
Lovely sweep shot there from Edwards. He smoked that, but unfortunately he's just gone straight to the fielder, Kyle Scrimjaw, at backward square leg.
Just a single. So while we're trying to sort all that out, the spinner, you're right, came on. And that's Riley Mark.
What's going to be interesting in this game as Riley Mark just comes into bowl?
Was he trying to play the ramp shot, did he? Is that what he's trying to do?
Yeah, I think he tried to use the pace of the ball then, and unfortunately he just didn't execute. But pretty innovative there from the batter.
Let's see what he does here. Yeah, he tried to play that ramp shot. Didn't quite work for him, but he got the single. Risky.
The players, these days, they just practice those shots so much that it ends up becoming quite a comfortable shot for them to play. But at the same time, it is risky, but you get high reward from it. It's a topical one. It's one that some people agree with, some don't.
That's it away. That's a great shot. That's going to race out to the boundary for 4.
That was an unbelievable shot. He's opened his face there and swung hard and hit it behind point over the backward point fielder. Did you see any of those shots back in your day, those reverse sweeps or little laps?
Well, I think I might have invented them Christmas Day, playing in the backyard of Mum's, and when it was out, it landed in the dog bowl. But we used to try to play it over the top of our heads, but we never had much luck. That was the tennis ball wrapped with electrical tape.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure. Okay, yeah, I'm sure they would have come out many times during Christmas in the backyard.
And you always had that nephew who desperately wanted to get you out. Well, you were just playing fun, but he was deadly serious.
Yes.
And that would get sulky if he didn't get you out.
Yeah. So you almost handed him the wicket.
Yeah, give him a wicket.
Yeah.
No, I love cricket. It's a good game, great to play, and there's something about the backyard cricket. Christmas Day is just fantastic, and of course next day you got the Boxing Day.
Oh.
So it was a great test match. Have you been to the MCG and watched those games?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to go to a fair few Boxing Day test matches, and yeah, it's, as a cricket lover, it's always quite good going to the Boxing Day test match. And yeah, by the time lunch is done on Christmas Day, the Boxing Day test match is one I'm looking at quite closely and I'm getting excited for.
1 for 65, Edwards 44, Larkin 21.
And they're both striking over 100 here, going more than one a ball, which is quite good from them. And they've set themselves quite a good platform here. 9 overs gone for 65 runs, so that'll be quite good. But the man has come on, Blade Baxter.
He's a lefty too, and that's a great catch.
Right.
I didn't realise that travelled so far. It didn't. He running in, took the catch around about knee high. It was a terrific catch.
Absolutely. He'd be quite... he's a bit unlucky there, Jack Edwards, because he smoked that pretty much over cover, and it's managed to fall into the hands of Sam Fanning there, who's taken a catch down at deep cover. So a great start there from Jack Edwards, scoring 44 off 33. So well done to him, off 34 actually. But Blade Baxter, he has just taken another wicket, and he is continuing his form that he was in the one-day competition, leading the competition with 14 wickets, and now he's just come on for his first ball in the T20 comp and taken a wicket straight up.
So 2 for 65. We think we'll have to correct. We have to keep refreshing the iPad.
Yeah, so we'll be 2 for 65. And coming into bat now is Campbell Callaway, who is from Victoria. He plays for the Melbourne Cricket Club down there, and he's coming off a really good season last year as a youngster, 18-year-old playing in the first grade competition, and he was one of the leading batters in the competition down there, which is a great effort as a young player. So he's had a good tournament up here as well. So he's certainly one to look out for, and he's earned his reward here coming in at number 3. So it's a good opportunity for him again.
He certainly batted pretty well against you guys on Sunday night. I think he made 15 or something, and he looked okay doing it.
Yeah, he did, and
stuck around for quite a while. Played the shots, worked his way into the game.
Absolutely.
And here comes Baxter, left arm around.
Wow.
Oh, that's just stroked through the offside. That's a glorious shot. Just leaning into it and belting it through the covers for forward.
Absolutely.
Point for 4.
And the two guys there enjoying a nice can of Coke or something, and some food. That's 2 Desert Blaze players, Hayden Kerr and Jack White, who would have enjoyed that shot.
Khan didn't have a chance. He knew he had no chance of getting to it. So Blade Baxter runs away from us here. We're at the airport end at the DXC Arena in Darwin. Works his way off the pads out to square leg for a single.
And Campbell Callaway now coming on. He's going to face his first ball. The left-hander.
Is he just a youngster?
Yeah, he is. I think he's 18 still.
Yeah.
So still quite young, and he's certainly in some good form. He first year out of school this year, so he'd be quite keen to make the most of this opportunity.
So see what he does. He's going to have to face the two lefties, I think. Left-arm bowler and a left-arm batsman, left-handed batsman. Here comes Baxter, left arm over the wicket, well pitched up and well played. Pushed it away for a single.
And one thing that's going to be interesting in this innings is, and you might know the answer to this, is the dew factor and when the dew will set in. Do you think it will set in time for the back end, the last maybe 5 overs of the Cyclones innings?
Yeah, probably will actually. It does. Once that sun's gone, not long after the sun sets, you feel there's just a little bit of dew that starts to form.
Yeah.
And we often see it when we do the footy here, where all of a sudden they start dropping marks and missed kicks and whatever, and it's just the dew factor. And teams come up from south and play, and they don't quite understand that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I imagine that would be it turned into a bit of a wet weather game, really.
Yeah, that's right. It's wet weather conditions, really, isn't it? But it doesn't seem like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because that'll be a big advantage if they can get a little bit of that, because the ball does run faster.
Baxter. It's gone way out to the boundary. Deep backward point, almost round a fine leg. End of the over. We've got to refresh our screen on the iPad to have a look. 2 for 73.
Off 10.
10 overs gone?
Yep.
7.3, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is. It's.
So they're on track for that 140, 150 you were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, they're definitely on track for that, which is quite good for them. And they'll be hoping, look, they can get a big score here. They'd be looking at the moment, hopefully over 160, but they'll definitely be hoping for more than 150 as a minimum.
So 64, that partnership between Edwards and Larkin was productive.
And just one more thing on the dew. I remember in the one-day games that we played out here, it was a big factor in the game. Whoever bowled first would get to bat at night where it was so dewy, and the ball just was a lot faster on the outfield. So the ball would just fly around everywhere off the grass, and it'd race to the boundary compared to in the daytime when there's no dew. So yeah, hopefully the Cyclones, they'll be hoping for a bit of that dew, but the Storm will certainly have it.
So Larkin here works that away. No run. So we're hoping to get those graphics up on the score for you wherever you're watching as soon as we can.
And there would be people watching from all over the country, I imagine. Seeing that there's players coming up here from different states and territories around Australia, yeah, it's going to be nationwide, I'm sure.
Yeah, he stepped back. He was always in trouble there when he went back, wasn't he? He went back to cut that shot and he missed it completely, and it bowled him. It was well bowled. Absolutely.
Always want to be bowling at the stumps as a spinner, keep the stumps in play, and that's what Riley Mark's done there, and that's a big wicket. That's Nick Larkin, Melbourne Stars player, so that's a big wicket, and suddenly the Storm are working their way back into the game. So that's a big wicket, and well done to Riley. That's a good start for him.
3 for 74, so Riley finished up with, what have we got? Searching for it, 40.
Nick Larkin,
yeah,
29 off 26.
29.
And Dylan Hunter now coming into bat. He plays for the Randwick Cricket Club in New South Wales. And he's up here now playing for the Waratahs in the Premier Cricket competition. So he's quite a talented batter, and yeah, he has had a good season back in his Premier competition down in New South Wales.
Are they both youngsters?
I think Dylan Hunter is a little bit older than Campbell. Yeah, but Dylan Hunter, I don't know him very well, but I've heard good things about his batting and what he can do.
So Mark's going to bowl over. Is he bowling? Where's he bowling? Over the wicket here?
Yeah, it looks like he'll be coming around the wicket.
Around the wicket. So be confident after getting a wicket. Let's see what he can do here. Tosses up outside the off stump.
He's fired that one down.
So Dylan Hunter yet to score. Callaway's just got the one. Wicket keeper to do the fielding. Don't know if I saw the Desert Blaze doing that much running fielding to balls, you know.
Not much running, you thought? Yeah.
No, not at all. I was just teasing. Good to see, because that makes it like it's almost like you've got 12 fielders if the wicket keeper can run 20, 30 metres to field the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's you always want to keep it that's up and about, and Michael Kudra there was right onto it.
So you modelled your batting wicket keeping on anyone special?
Yeah.
Think about?
Oh, it's a tough one. I don't really have one person that I model it off, but yeah, I can't really just pick one player. It's very hard to choose a player. Yeah, but yeah, it's a funny game, cricket, and I think the way I play, it's not so conventional, and yeah, there's always a few differences between every player, and yeah, I sort of can't really pick a player, really.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough.
I thought you might go for Gilchrist. But here's Baxter, left arm. Geez, he's a powerful bowler, isn't he? He just looks so strong.
Yeah. I actually missed, I didn't really catch much of Gilchrist's career, unfortunately, so, but I have seen some highlights of Gilly, and I've heard a lot about him, and he definitely sounds like one you'd want to be like as a keeper, so yeah, absolutely.
He was the genuine all-rounder, wasn't he? They could use him anywhere, and he could play all forms of, all the different formats. An explosive batsman.
Absolutely. So Blade Baxter back on now.
So Baxter holds this one, pushed away by Callaway. Was it Callaway? Yep.
Yep. Yes. Blade Baxter, as I said before, he's taken many wickets, so as a City Cyclones batter, you want to be onto that, and yeah, you want to stop that trend, really.
So they got rid of Edwards and Larkin, and so the runs have now dried right up. They're going to, so the bowling team here, they're going to keep the pressure on, I think. Yeah,
and you're spot on, Charlie. That's you know, that's one of the things about up here. There's players at varied levels. So you've got a big bash player, and then it comes down to, you know, a talented, really talented grade cricket player. So there's different levels and standards, and that's one of the challenges they'll face now, is that they'll need to try and keep the momentum that Edwards and Larkin brought to this game. They'll want to keep that going.
Callaway 102, 3 for 76. And that's belted away. That's a good shot. There's a big gap out there. He's going to get to it. No, I don't know. He wasn't able to. That was a glorious shot.
Brilliant shot from Dylan Hunter there. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what all the New South Wales grade cricketers do. Are they going to go back to New South Wales? I think a lot of them are looking to go to different states, because New South Wales, unfortunately, isn't in the best situation, and their season isn't looking like going ahead.
Right. It just, yeah, it's just terrible time in New South Wales, isn't it? This is going to go for 4. 4 more. So just when we were saying the runs are dried up, they certainly haven't. The last 2 shots deliver us 8 runs. Edwards out for 44. Larkham made 29. Hunter is 6. And Kellaway is 2.
Yes, and Webster and Blade Baxter with the wickets, as well as Riley Mark.
3 for 81. In the... How many overs have we bowled there? See it?
11.
11 overs? We were in the 12.
Well bowled there from Blade. Rolled his fingers around that one, and he landed it quite well, but very well played from Dylan Hunter there. He reacted well to that, and he's just guided that down to third man, and that's 9 balls off the last 3 balls of that over, so good one for the City Cyclones.
Here's that replay again. He was going to drive it, and then he realised what was happening with the ball, and he just changed his shot and glided away, didn't he? It was a good shot, soft hands. Nice shot with the bat. The Gray Nichols bats, they've stood the test of time. I remember when they first came in many years ago, and they were all the rage. Now they're still around. They're still popular.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now they're just as good as any other brand, but it's interesting. So they sort of went downhill a little bit, but obviously they've come back up, Gray Nichols, and now they're quite a popular brand again.
I remember they used to have one called a Super Scoop. It had a scoop on the back of it.
Yeah. I think Swan Richards from Victoria, he was a bat maker, and I think he's the one that brought that one in at Gray Nichols.
And there was a double scoop, the one that had it sounds like an ice cream, doesn't it? It's got the two scoops on the back. This is hit away square. It was just a replay of that shot. A good fielding. It's good work, and they run through for a single. So you'll have to bear with us wherever you are. You might be getting a little frustrated with this, but we don't have the graphics up on the screen, so we have to keep refreshing a iPad to tell us. 3 for 86. In the 13th over. Shot there by Kellaway.
And these two, it's an interesting matchup, these two. They're both the same age. They would have faced each other a bit, and yeah, they know each other's skills.
Kellaway trying to get this away. He's having a little bit of trouble, but straight to the field. Again, the field's placing's pretty well thought out, I think. They've worked out where they want them exactly.
Yeah, there has been a fair few gone straight to fielders today.
Shot around the corner, out the square leg. Through for a single.
And it looks like we're going to have to keep frequent eye on the iPad for the score updates, and we'll be bringing them to you as well as best as we can. So just bear with us with that, but we will be bringing updates with the score, and at the moment it's 3 for 88 off 13 overs gone, so there's only 7 left. That's 42 balls, so yeah, the Cyclones, as you said, the runs sort of have dried up a little bit. And
a little bit of rain started to fall too. I just felt a few drops on the breeze coming in. Not that I don't think we're going to get any rain, but it'd be a bit unusual this time of year. But I remember in the old Darwin cricket season many years ago, when you went to play the first game, there was always rain. You know, like it was the end of the wet season. You'd think a few days before it was nice and clear, sunny, everything was right. You go out to play on the Saturday, raining.
What was it like towards the end of the cricket season and going into the wet season?
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
The risk of rain towards to the end of the season as well. Cricket season.
And in the middle of the dry season, doesn't rain much.
No, not at all. Perfect.
Yeah, and that's something I can't believe about Darwin, is just every day is an absolute lovely day.
Yeah.
Down south in summer, down there in Victoria and South Australia, where I've been before, you do get your rainy days in summer, many of them.
So who's this coming on to bowl? This is Khan, Josh Khan?
Yes, Josh Khan back on here, the Queenslander.
Oh, tossed it up well.
So Josh Khan, looks like we've got the score back up, Charlie. How good's that?
There we go. 3 for 88. Awesome. Kellaway's 3, Hunter's 12. Khan no wicket for 9 off 2 overs. He's in his 3rd.
Yeah, so Josh Kahn, he's from Gold Coast in Queensland. He's playing for the district club there, and he will be at the Hurricanes making the trip down to Tasmania for the Big Bash.
So Callaway to face Kahn as he runs in. Right arm over the wicket and gets hit out forward of point out towards the boundary. Just stayed caught inside the ropes. Some good fielding out there. Rips a return back to the keeper.
Great fielding there from Sam Fanning. He's had a good day in the field. He's from New South Wales originally, and then he moved out to WA where he picked up a contract. So he'll be one to look out for. He's a top order batsman, so definitely one that will be good to watch for the Southern Storm when they chase the runs down later.
Well, they just went to update the score and it disappeared again off the screen, so it's going to be tough. Here's a big hit. It's coming towards us. Fielder parked in front of us, gets underneath it and takes the catch. Good catch taken there by, who was that?
Ash Chandrasinghe.
Ash Chandrasinghe, yeah.
Great catch there, and Campbell Callaway, it was quite a nice shot. He tried to use the wind and go over the top, but just wasn't able to get it either straight enough or over the rope, over the fielder. But a good effort from him, and yeah, with 7 overs to go in the game, acceptable shot. And yeah, the Cyclones will be wanting to move the innings along here and try and get as many on the board as they can.
So how many did he make? Is it telling us there? What's he got? Callaway? 5. Out for 5. Oh, I thought he would have made more than that. But Hunter was the one who picked up the run rate a bit, but they're still dropped right back now, aren't they? 3 for 90.
And there are 6 overs left after this one, so yeah, I think 140 hopefully would be a nice score, but anything more than 130, especially against the batting lineup the Southern Storm have. They've got Mac Wright, who led their runs in the one-day competition. Josh Kahn, who made 142 in one of the one-days.
Wow.
Sam Fanning, he's a contracted player. Bo Webster, he's from the Melbourne Stars now, I believe. I think he's made the move across from the Renegades to the Stars. I don't know if that's official yet, but there's been a lot of talks about that.
Well, you've heard it for the first time here.
Yeah, exclusive. And yeah, many others down the order as well that will be quite good for a run chase of any score.
So this is running into bowl is Kahn, Josh Kahn, single. And we apologise again that you can't see the score there, so we're referring to our iPad to try and keep you updated. There it is. There, I think when they try to change it, it disappears. When you try to adjust, try to update the score, it disappears.
They're working hard behind the scenes. I hope they are, and it looks like they are. And the new batter is Josh Neal, who is playing for the Pint Cricket Club up here in Darwin. And he did make 100 for them.
Oh, that's stood up well, played that well. That wasn't risky at all, and he'll pick up at least a couple. What do you call that shot?
That was quite a lovely shot.
Yeah, lovely shot.
What's he? I don't know what the name is for that. Maybe, yeah.
Have a look at it again here. You might be able to come up with a name.
Yeah, I actually don't know. If someone can contact one of us, that'd be great to find out what the name of that shot is. I actually don't know. I feel like I should know, but I don't know if there's a name for it.
Can you play it?
No, I don't. I can't play that one. But I might try it now. But
we've seen a lot of shots invented, haven't we, in recent times? I mean, quite fascinating, really.
Yeah, it is quite amazing the last few years. The likes of David Warner and Glenn Maxwell, they've brought in these amazing shots, and not just those two. I'm sure there are many others, like the Dill Scoop. I remember that was quite a publicised one.
So Kahn bowling again.
The new batter here is Ryan Mcelduff, who plays for Nightcliff, and he's from Sydney Uni in New South Wales. So another one from New South Wales, and he's playing up here for Nightcliff. He also bowls off spin, and he's quite a good bowler, Ryan. And in the previous game, I don't know if you remember, Charlie, but Ryan was the one that was playing those ramp shots. You will remember from the last game, the one. Yeah, so he if the Storm have done their, actually it's going to be a good test, if they've done their research, they would know that he was going to play that today most likely. So it'll be interesting to see what field they set, whether they cover that shot off.
Okay, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Tries the reverse sweep. That's another new shot really in cricket.
Yeah.
Like in recent times.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that was sort of brought in, I think, by David Warner, who I've seen bat both right and left-handed in the nets. He bats, I remember at the MCG one day, he was batting right-handed, and he's a left-hander in a game, but he was in the nets batting right-handed, and I couldn't believe it. And I was a bit younger then, and yeah, that's quite amazing. Good practice for your hand-eye coordination.
Actually, I remember the Australian coach, I can't remember what his name was, but he was saying how he thought that the future within 5 years the Australian cricketers would be able to bat and bowl left and right-handed.
Yeah, that's
we haven't seen that eventuate really.
Well, there is a player that just got recruited to Tasmania who's on the contract there, and he can bowl right and left-handed.
Right.
He's a spinner.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll see a bit of him in the not so near future.
Because it'd be useful if you're fielding to be able to just, whatever side of the body it's on, you can get it and throw it straight back.
That's very true actually, and yeah, fielding, if it was as important as batting and bowling, which look, I shouldn't actually say that, they're probably all just as important as each other, but yeah, that you're right there. It's throwing with your both hands would be very advantageous in the field.
Pick it up on the run and rip it in, just like they did there, right in front of us. What's our score? We've got to try and refresh this again.
Yes.
Let's have a look. Better keep our viewers up to date with the score. 4 for 95 in the 15th over. What are we? You better get that, Max.
Yeah, and we got Dylan Hunter, who's on strike right now. He's on 14 off 12, and Ryan's off 2 off 3 balls.
Mcelduff. Dark clouds in the distance. There's a big hit. Wow. He's got right under it. He's going to be safe. Diving effort. Almost got to it. Claw went out.
Great effort there from Dean Fry, who did have a really good one-day competition, and he's actually recently engaged. And he went away, took a little bit of a break, just to spend a bit of family time there.
Is he that Darwin guy?
He is a Darwin player, yeah, local.
Yeah,
you've probably seen the name before, Charlie.
I know his dad, Norm Fry, was good cricketer, and his time went away with that. They sent an Aboriginal team to play in England, not that first one in the 1800s, but in recent times, and Norm Fry was one of the Darwin players that went away with that.
There you go.
He was quite a good cricketer as well. I think he batted left-handed and bowled right-handed, so he was like ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Amazing. But he was a good cricketer.
And where did they go for that trip?
To England, yeah.
To England.
They went on a tour, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, 25 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
25 years ago, and I think Ian King was the fast bowler from Queensland. Was I think the captain of the team, and Mark Ella, the rugby player, went with them as well.
Yeah.
So it was quite good. They're talking about having a reunion to get them all back together again.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of them are still with us, but be good to remember them and get them to tell some stories about the tour. They did well. Yeah,
absolutely. That would be one good for the listeners at home and even myself after the broadcast to search up on the internet.
Yeah, Google Norm Fry. It might take you straight to it.
Yeah.
Norman Fry.
Yeah. Josh Kahn back on here.
Oh, the bouncer. Oh, good one too.
It's been called a wide by the square leg.
But they're not bad wides, those, because they keep the batsmen on their toes, don't they?
Spot on.
They're worth doing every now and then, just they start to look a bit comfortable.
Spot on. And the bowlers only get one ball over the shoulder per over, so if he bowls another one now for the remaining 5 balls, it's going to be called a wide again. It's actually going to be called a no ball, so they'll get a free hit.
Right.
So Josh, he can't afford now to bowl another one over shoulder height. And
dabs that away and scurries through for a single.
And I was talking to one of the Desert Blaze players who I play for the Desert Blaze, for the listeners that don't know, and I was talking to one of my teammates, and they were mentioning, and it might have been Chris Tremaine, who is an Australian ODI fast bowler, and he mentioned you don't want to bowl your first one over shoulder in your first ball or first few balls, because then you don't have that option of bowling another short one. So the batter, mentally and in their mind, they sort of know that it's going to be a bit fuller. So it's always good for the bowlers to sort of hold that shorter ball above the shoulder until later on in the over, so it can keep the batter guessing. Because if you give it away in the first few balls, then the batter knows that it's probably not going to come again.
That's out of the deal, isn't it?
That's right.
It's off the table. But yeah, but it's good if it's a surprise ball. I don't know if you ever get a wicket with it, but it's a good one to bowl.
Yeah, certainly, and especially now because the wind is behind the batter's back. Bowling a shorter ball, it's going to force them to hit out to square leg, which isn't necessarily with the wind. So it's not a bad ball to bowl.
Got a bit of swing there with that.
Yeah.
Swung a little bit.
And
Josh Khan bowling okay.
yeah, and actually before I forget, we were talking about the switch hits and all those, and as we see the replay, just gone down leg. We see these innovative skills in our game, and another one is Bo Webster, who he can bowl off spin and pace. Now he has bowled 2 overs already today, but he hasn't gone with the spin option. So if he bowls his last 2 overs, it's going to be interesting to see if he does turn to spin instead of bowling pace.
Right.
He did that in the Big Bash last year, playing for the Melbourne Renegades. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does today if he does turn to spin for some reason.
So I was listening to a podcast the other day about cricket, and they talked about bowling a ball called a space, where you actually come in with the run-up of a spinner and bowl pace.
Oh, yeah.
It's the space ball.
Yeah, I like that one. That's not bad, just to put off the batter.
Yeah.
So 4 for 100.
Tossed up.
4 for 104 off 15. We're in the 16th over now.
So we apologise, because we're not getting the score on the screen for you to see, and we have to keep refreshing an iPad that we've got here. It's not giving us much of help. So we're waffling on and getting through a whole lot of interesting topics. I hope you're enjoying it. There's more runs added. And the trouble with the iPad is it doesn't update. You have to keep updating it to get the accurate score. So 4 for 105 now.
Off 15.4.
So we're in the 16th over, 20 over game. This is the City Cyclones playing Southern Storm. Storm won the bat and decided to bowl, and looks like a pretty good decision at this time in the match. 4 for 106. It's back on the screen.
Awesome.
And that's when he's hit that high. He's going to be in trouble here. Parked underneath it. Catch out.
Good catch there.
Gone.
Good catch there from Riley Mark. One thing I do remember from playing the other game is that when the ball goes up in the sky, it ends up in the dark, and then it comes down and it comes in the light. So it's interesting, but yeah, always a tough catch when you're fielding out here, and that was another good one there from Riley.
Got underneath it. Good catch. So that's Hunter that's out. I think it's Hunter.
That's Mcelduff out, actually.
Mcelduff?
Yeah, but a good innings from Mcelduff. He did score.
What did he finish with?
I think it was 5 or 6.
5, I think.
Yeah, not bad. And coming in now is number 6, Jackson Edmondson. He's from WA, Jackson, and he's playing up here for the Tracy Village Cricket Club. So he had a good one-day tournament. He's scored several runs throughout, and he's been good. And he'll be looking to come in now and finish his innings off for the Cyclones. And I don't think they haven't taken the power surge. So it's going to be interesting to see when they force the Southern Storm to only have 2 fielders out rather than 5.
So that can last for what, 2 overs?
Yeah, 2 overs. So they'll get 2 overs, as we say. Hello to the manager of the City Cyclones. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when they use that power surge and force the Storm to only have 2 fielders out. Now that the new batsman Jackson Edmondson is in, I reckon they're going to not elect to use it this over. I think Edmondson try and get himself in this over, just face a few balls, and then next over they might take it.
So Hunter on 20. Khan 2 for 22 from his 4 overs. Well, Simons, none for 14.
That's well bowled there, and Jackson just getting himself in here, and he'd want to get off strike pretty quickly and keep this score ticking over. And yeah, the Cyclones are 5 for 106 now, and there's only 23 balls left in the innings.
They need to get a wriggle on. So Edmondson here, facing Simons, walks down the wicket, hits it around the leg, on the leg side, out towards backward square leg.
They've come back for a 2 there. Good placement. Yeah, now it's sort of that stage in the game where you can push the running and try and pick up 2s. The City Cyclones, they're on 108 now, so 22 balls left. So they'd be hoping to get hopefully over 140. That would be quite a good score if they can get above that.
Simons outside the off stump, and he smashed right over the top of that. You'd be forgiven for thinking that was a wide, but he was a long way over it, like it passed under the middle of the bat, if you like.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as wide as what the shot suggested.
And it looked like it was a subtle change. As I think the ball dipped slightly, so that's well bowled from Simons. And the bowlers will they'll be changing up their pace now and trying to deceive the batter. Well bowled there from Simons.
6.55 the run rate. Played that shot quite well, got on top of it, pushed it away out to deep third man for a single. Hunter 20, Edmondson on 3. 5 for 109.
Yep, and really important here for Hunter to try and, as the batter that's in at the moment, and he's got his eye in, he's going to be the one that really sort of aggresses and moves this total forward and ticks the runs over. So he'd be hoping to score some boundaries, but obviously not get out.
So through to the keeper.
It's well bowled again from Brodie.
Hunter on 20, he's batted well. 18 balls.
Yep, he has. And
hit some good shots, hasn't he, amongst those 20 runs he's got?
Yeah, he hit those 2 boundaries in a row, and yeah, he set himself a really good platform here to really, he could even, well, I think 50 might be a little bit of a tough ask for Hunter here, but he'd be hoping to capitalise on this start that he's managed to get.
Brodie Simons comes in right arm over the wicket, bowls to Hunter, and he slashes at this one through the vacant slip position down to third man and through for a single.
So that's the end of the over.
5 for 109.
And it's going to be interesting now to see if they take the power surge, where there's only 2 fielders allowed out. Yeah, they might give it another one. I'm not sure. Let's wait and see.
And what's the signal they've got to give that they're going to go to the power?
I think we might get it now. There it is.
There it is, the waving of the arms by the umpire.
I actually didn't know that. Yeah, that's the signal.
Make sure everybody knows.
Yeah. So now Mac Wright, he's the captain, and he'll be speaking with the bowler as he is now, trying to work out this field. The wind is still blowing behind the bowler, the batter's back right now. So they'll be hitting with the wind. And it looks like mid-off and mid-on are going to be up. So the batters will be able to hit down the ground and try and go over the top. I'm sure that's what Dylan Hunter will be thinking now, to try and hit the ball down the ground and over the top. They've got all the offside fielders are up in the ring. They've only got a deep back. They've got a deep square and a cow corner fielder.
Outside the circle, well, let's see if they can penetrate this inner circle, pick up some extra runs here in a hurry. Well, that's a good way to start it. That was belted out towards the boundary.
Good.
Came back almost as fast, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Actually, I'll tell you what, he absolutely whacked that, and yeah, he's off strike now, Dylan Hunter. But Edmondson's taken the strike, and let's see what he does here.
Edmondson on 3. He's got that from 4 balls. Jackson Edmondson. I think he made. I don't think he made many when we saw him bat the last time on Sunday.
He did have a very good one-day cup tournament in this Cricket 365 competition.
Slower ball, single,
and that's well bowled from Baxter. And yeah, Dylan Hunter there, he's eager to get back on strike as the batter that's in at the moment. It's very tough in T20s as a batter coming in towards the middle of the innings at the end and trying to swing from ball 1. So obviously Dylan will be trying, he'd be wanting the strike here, but Edmondson can do some damage.
Oh, he's worked that away. Didn't get it past that fielder inside the circle.
Blade Baxter doing a great job of slowing down his pace and changing the pace, trying to deceive the batter here. Were there many, I'm sure that back 20, 40 years ago, were they trying, I imagine that slower balls wouldn't have been as prevalent as they are now, because it's short form cricket out here, and as short form cricket has come into the game, that's sort of been a skill that they've sort of picked up.
Yeah, it was mainly pace and spin in those days,
Yeah.
They didn't try the slower ball. The slower ball came in much later.
Yeah.
Maybe about 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And well-disguised slower ball. The medium pacers could bowl them really, really well, and even the quicker bowlers could do it well.
Yeah. That would be, yeah, that's interesting, that how the game's evolved and it's still evolving.
Well, the batting has probably changed more. That's a high shot. It's going to land safely. And misfield allows them to get an extra run.
Yeah, and even one-day cricket over the past few, over the last 10 years, 200 used to be a good score in a one-dayer, and now it's over 300. So the game has evolved even the last 10 years, and now it's even it's evolving even more.
Well, it's evolved more into a batsman's game than the even battle between bat and ball, which used to be what the interest was. Ball through to the keeper.
Good Yorker there from Baxter. Yeah, and
but now people come to see the batsmen do their thing. Really, that's what they want.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
And it's exciting. It's great to watch.
Yeah, it is. It is quite, especially in the short form cricket. Seeing runs scored is awesome, but it's interesting in the Test matches. A batter's game, like I think. What are your thoughts on the pitches that they're sort of back in a few, like 20 years ago, were the pitches that sort of even and suited to the batters as they are these days?
I don't think they did it as the job as well as they do them now, the pitches, and so no, sometimes they're a bit unpredictable, but you always knew the whacker was going to be a fast pitch,
Yeah.
You went there, you're expecting balls to jump from a length and whatever. Sydney would spin more than the others, so they knew those grounds as they were, but it's hard to say, I think. Because I never batted on turf, so I don't. I didn't know what it was like.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think these days, the test matches, it's always good when there's a bit of life with the bowlers, and they can sort of influence the game a little bit.
Edmondson on 4, facing Simons. Runs in and bowls. Ball shortish, hit high, and there'll be a catch. Out there, easy catch taken in the covers.
Mac Wright picked up another catch there, and yeah, pretty tough for a batter now to come in and swing, but a great wicket picked up there from Brodie, and well done to him. He's bowled very well today, so good on him for picking up his first wicket, and yeah, the Cyclones will be hoping now to lift this total as high as they can. They're on 114 with 11 balls to go, so you'd imagine they'd at least hopefully get above that 135.
So Edmondson out for 4. So it's a sorry scorecard when you look at it. If you take that 44 out of it, they're all hasn't been any big scores there. I mean, Hunter has got 24 and Larkin got 29, but the others haven't contributed that much. Current run rate 6.33. 2 overs to go. And
they'll be hoping now. Yash is coming to the crease. Yash Pednecker, who is another Victorian playing for the Richmond Cricket Club. He's 19 years old at the moment, and he can play a really nice pull shot. He hit one in the one dayers here that hit the roof of the canteen actually. So so look out there, and yeah, hopefully he doesn't. He might even hit the commentary box. So just keep your eyes open.
Well, he'd have to get a thick outside edge for it to carry to us.
Yeah.
We're at deep second slip at the moment. We're behind him.
Yeah, maybe from the other end.
So we got a wide from the first ball.
So Dylan Hunter on.
Very wide. So Hunter's on, what's he on? 24. He's batted well. 23 balls, so run a ball. A little better then.
Yep. Yeah, he'll be hoping to capitalise on these last few balls of the innings.
Simons has a wicket, runs in and bowls to Hunter. Wide again. Umpire has a bit of a think about it. Said it's okay. He did manage to reach it, the batsman.
And that's well bowled. He's nailed the paint there, hitting the crease line, and it's a good Yorker, pretty tough to hit for a batter. And it looks like Bo Webster has sort of suggested to the captain that he wants to go to backward point, and he's managed to find himself there right now, and it's almost gone to him.
Went back even finer. Awkward return for the keeper.
So Yash on strike now. And I'm sure that Jew has probably set in on the ground. So the ball's going to run faster along the outfield.
I wonder if it makes the ball more difficult to grip for the spinners. Gets a little bit of moisture on it.
Yeah, certainly. Yes, they'll be looking to bring their towels out onto the field. Oh.
Pednecker's going to have a go at this. It was short. Umpire didn't signal a wide.
And yes, he's given the bowler the one above the shoulder. So okay. That'll be
definitely above the shoulder.
Yeah. And that's the ball that Yash, anything that's short, Yash will be looking to put it on the roof of the canteen like he did in the one-day competition.
See what he can do here.
And there it is.
Goes. He's
attempted it, and it's gone over the rope.
6. Big 6.
And that's one of Yash's strengths. And
he was sitting on that, waiting for a good call.
Yes. I noticed that from a few games I've seen him play. He loves the pull shot, and he's managed to get that one over the rope for the first 6 of the game.
It's boosted the score along a bit. What were we thinking? 140, maybe 122 now.
Yeah, well...
This is the 19th over, got an over to go.
Yeah, well, it was funny. When Nick Larkin and Jack Edwards were in, we were saying 160, I think. But now...
It's just cricket, isn't it? That's what happens.
That's right.
Here's Simons. Pednecker, will he try it again? No, he hits it for a single. Scurries through. 6 for 123.
That's a good over. Getting that 6. Yash Pednecker 6 off 2. And he's done his job there. Coming in at the end, it's very tough as a batter. And he's managed to hit a boundary, which is all the team needs right now.
On 7, so he gets the strike back, Pednecker. Good thinking.
Yeah.
Hunter stranded on 25.
So that's the end of the power surge. So now they can have 5 fielders outside the ring.
Do you like the power surge?
Yeah, I like it personally. I think it's good for the game. Yeah, when it first got brought in, it was interesting to see how it would play out. But overall, I quite like it, and it's going to be interesting if they use that rule. I'm guessing that they won't use it in the T20 World Cup, but it would be interesting to see if they did use it. And yeah, I don't know if I don't think they used it in the IPL. So yeah, if it's not going to get used there, I don't know if it'll get used in the World Cup. But it'll be interesting to see over the years what happens with that. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I like it. So here's Baxter and Pednecker. This will be interesting, this last over. See if Pednecker can get away with some shots. He's going to get only a single. He gave it plenty, but didn't beat the fielder. And so as a result, can only run the single. Takes him up to 8. Hunter's on 25. This is the last over, 6 for 124. Now the field's moving around a bit. They're going to try and cut these boundaries off.
Last over. Looks like Bo Webster, he'll be finishing the bowling innings with just 2 overs. So, yeah, just giving the other guys a bit of a bowl. And, yeah, he won't be bowling spin, but he'll be ready for a big innings with the bat.
So Baxter. Just out in front of us.
Mac Wright. Just on the boundary here.
That's where it might come, straight down to Mac Wright.
Absolutely.
Hunter on strike. He's a lefty. Baxter bowls him a slower ball. Cleverly done. Pednecker's going to scramble through for a single. Leg by.
That's well bowled from the bowler there.
Not bad getting Pednecker on there. I mean, he can hit another 6.
Yeah.
Handy.
Absolutely. That's what they need right now, the City Cyclones. And, yeah, they did lose the first game, so they will be hoping to get back on the winners board here. And, yeah, they got to scramble for as many runs as they can right now.
And that run rate didn't really go too far. It was round about over 6 earlier on. One, and here's outside the... And that's a...
Going up in the air.
Stump, big high ball and dropped. That's one of those ones you were talking about, would have went into the darkness and then came back into light, would it not?
Yeah, and yes, and that, as we spoke about before, that might have disappeared into the darkness and come down into the light, and I'm sure it would have. So not an easy catch.
Here it is here, so he got hold of it.
Went quite high.
So it's a long time underneath it. No real damage in that, though, late in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the bowler wouldn't be too happy.
Yeah.
But
good time to drop a catch, isn't it?
Yeah, late in the game. So here's Baxter again. It's a cat and mouse out there, so he jumped. Pednecker jumped outside
Yeah.
the line of the stumps.
And at the innings break, we've got Joel Morrison joining us, the CEO of NT Cricket.
Yeah, looking forward to having a chat with Joel. Want to talk to him about a few crickety things.
Absolutely, and it's been quite an exciting, season for NT Cricket, hasn't it? And as someone living up here, what sort of... Anyway, we'll watch this ball first.
2 balls left. Baxter. And that's belted away. I don't think he's going to get a 4. I don't think he's going to get a 6. I think he's going to be caught. In fact, he was. It's the price you pay.
And good catch taken there by Brodie Simons, who took that nice... He had to move a bit, and he's managed to catch that nice and cleanly. So
Hunter's... That's not a bad innings from him, 25 from 26.
Yeah,
He did well.
He's done a good job there. Not easy circumstances to bat, especially when wickets are falling around you. It's not easy to sort of keep the momentum going. So, you know, that's handy for the City Cyclones, that little innings.
There's a couple of balls left. Who's this coming into bat? Is it...
So it's Ryan Mcelduff coming in.
Josh Neal, number...
And Blade Baxter just changing the field here, bringing third man up. And Mac Wright, the captain, will go down to long off. So it might be something pitched up here a little bit fuller.
That's a wide, is it not?
Yeah.
Scrambling through for a single, so we've still got a ball to bowl.
Yes, and Josh Neal is the new batter in here who plays for the Pint Cricket Club up in the Northern Territory up here, and he did score 100 for them. So on this ground, and it was during the day-night match which they played. So
so he can hit a ball.
Yes, and he's good in these conditions.
He's going to face one ball in his innings. He takes a big swoosh at it and he missed, and they went for a run out and they didn't get that either. And they scrambled through for a single to get him up to 130. And so the innings comes to an end on 131 with this extra run. 7 for 131. Pednecker on 11, and Neil finished up on no score, but the top score went to Jack Edwards, made 44 from 34 balls. He batted very, very well for them. Nick Larkin made 29 and Hunter made 25. They were the main scorers. What do you think of the innings?
Yeah, they started off really well, the City Cyclones. They obviously got off to a good start with Jack Edwards and Nick Larkin there. They were putting the Southern Storm under a bit of pressure, but the Southern Storm, they just stuck at it and they kept bowling, and Josh Khan taking 2 wickets as well as Blade Baxter. They helped put the pressure on, and yeah, Bo Webster was quite economical with his 1 for 13 off 2 overs. So you know, a good fight back from the Southern Storm to keep the City Cyclones to 131, 7 wickets down. So it's going to be interesting as the birds fly by and make some noise. It's going to be interesting, the second innings, what happens, and the Southern Storm have got quite a good batting lineup, as we said before, and it's going to be one not to miss. Mac Wright, he'll open the batting with Josh Khan, I think. I'm quite certain of that, and Mac Wright plays for the Hobart Hurricanes, and funnily enough, Josh Khan will be joining him down at the Hobart Hurricanes. So they're both going to open the batting. Big hitters, they'll hit boundaries, and they can quickly win this game for the City Cyclones. So the City Cyclones, they'll be hoping to try and get one of them out, if not two. And
so Jack Edwards, 44 runs from 34 balls, leads the City Cyclones charge there. Nicholas Larkin showing his good form, 29 off 27 before he was out. Dylan Hunter got to 25 off 27, and they finished at 7 for 131. The wickets, Josh Khan 2 for 22 off 4 overs, and Blade Baxter 2 for 30 off 4 overs. So their economy was 5.5 and 7.5. Just final comment from you, Max. 7 for 131. Is it going to be enough?
At the moment, I don't think it will be, but cricket's a funny game. Anything can happen, and certainly it's going to be entertaining whichever ways it falls, because the Southern Storm have got some really talented batters who can entertain, and the City Cyclones, they've got some good bowlers who can take wickets. They've got some good spinners who can win this game for them.
Set up for a good finish. Don't go away. Set to go here. 132 the target. Wright, that's Mac Wright opening the batting along with Josh Kahn, and Guthrie to open the bowling. Should be pretty good. Good match. Hope you can stay with us. Just a reminder that CEO of NT Cricket, Joel Morrison, will join us in about 4 overs, I reckon.
Absolutely, and I look forward to chatting to Joel. It's been an exciting year here for NT Cricket, and what they've been able to put on has been quite amazing. So I look forward to chatting to Joel.
So here's Guthrie, bowls left arm over, bowls to right, down the leg side and a big wide earlier on. Okay, they'll keep us some work to do.
Good take.
These keepers are working hard tonight.
Yeah,
earning their
absolutely.
money.
I think Keepers Union won't be happy about this. They need to lift a bit here. But a great take there from Banjo Waring. He's from Alice. So good to have a local NT playing. And yeah, Banjo, great take there down the leg side. And Mac Wright here opening the batting. And it's the Hurricanes, the Twins here.
So comes Guthrie again. Good ball on the stumps, pushed away on the offside. No chance of a run.
Both these players will be playing for the Hurricanes in the upcoming Big Bash season. Mac Wright has been playing there for several years, but Josh Kahn will join him this year after putting up some good performances and being offered a contract. So he'll be wanting to get off to a good start here with his T20 cricket. And yeah, he'll be hoping to get it done with Mac Wright.
So Guthrie again. Outside the off stump, just moved away. Went right across the body of Wright then, and he hung the bat out. Didn't get a touch. Yeah,
quite a talented bowler, Liam Guthrie from WA. It's great to have players like him up here, and he's someone that's up and coming and got a big future ahead. And he was bowling quite fast the other night, and those shorter balls were coming through quite quickly. Mac Wright, he finished a one-day tournament on top with the most runs at 369 at 73.8.
Guthrie again, the left arm. Good bowling, just a little short of a length, and Wright had to get right behind it. No run on offer from that at all. Good start to it.
Yep, and Mac Wright, he's had a pretty good time up here in the Northern Territory. 103 against the Northern Tide, and another 100 after that, 116 against the City Cyclones. So against this mob, Mac Wright has had some good form against them, making 116.
Guthrie again, and this time he got some wood on it, and he hit that through, split the covers and out towards the boundary. I think it's going to go all the way it does. It's a good shot. He waited on it, and he just belted it away and beat those two fielders comfortably. Got 4 runs for it.
Absolutely. And I'm lucky enough to be in a room with Mac Wright. We share the same room up here in the Northern Territory down at Ridges in Palmerston. And he did assure me that he's going to hit one over cover for 6.
Okay.
So we'll wait and see if he does that today.
We'll see what he does. So he split those two fielders out there, so his radar's on. And he just swings us away down around the corner, down the fine leg for a single.
And you heard the Cyclones there screaming, catch it, because they know how important this first wicket is. They'll be really eager to get this first wicket, because coming in next is Sam Fanning from WA, and then it's Bo Webster, who is a Big Bash cricketer, and that's some really good talent to come in next. So they know, the Cyclones, they've got to get some wickets, and Captain Jack Edwards there talking to Liam Guthrie, trying to work out how they're going to pick up this first wicket.
And Josh Kahn is pretty good all-rounder, 2 for 22 in his bowling stint. Was good.
Yep.
And here he is opening the batting. He's facing Guthrie, walks across his stumps and pushes it out towards that gap. Didn't get it through.
And Josh Kahn, he has had another really good time up here in the NT. And funnily enough, he made a big score of 142 the last time they played the City Cyclones. So he's another one to watch against right now, really. But yeah, good start to the first over there.
So none for 6. Do you know it had the current run rate at the start, it had 6. So I didn't have to change it. It is 6.
Yes.
Do they know something, the scorers, that we don't? So rights on one, there was a wide in all of that, so extras of 1, can't yet to score.
And here comes Jack Edwards from New South Wales, playing for the Sydney Sixers, sorry. So he'll be eager here to, as captain of the team, he'll be pretty confident and feeling pretty good and hoping to take some wickets here to get the City Cyclones off to a good start, and they really do need wickets early on in this innings. 44
runs he got off 34 Edwards, so he is a good all-rounder in good form. This has worked around the corner, down to fine leg for a single. No power in the shot, just roll the wrists and just helped it on its way.
Yep, and speaking of rolling the wrists, Jack Edwards, I think he might have done it here. We'll just see the replay. Yeah, it looked like he rolled his fingers around it. I've heard around the place that he's got a really good slow ball bouncer.
Right.
And what he'll do is he'll half the pace of his fast ball, full pace ball, and he bowls really good slower balls where they'll even get a bit of dip on it, and it's pretty much really tough for a batter to face that sort of bowling, especially when it gets slowed down so much.
Here he is, runs in. He's a big, tall man, well pitched up.
And the good start from the City Cyclones, they'll take this, and their coach, Murphy, he'll be Spud Murphy. His nickname is Spud.
Every Murphy's nickname is Spud, I reckon. I'm not sure how that all works, but it's got some Irish connection to it.
Yeah, Brad Spud Murphy, Brad Murphy. Yeah, he'll be happy with his start.
He's not an express bowler, is he? But he's just medium pace. That's moved away. That was a good ball, hit and cut away a little bit.
And that was a good ball. Pretty good length, tough to hit that. And as we see the replay here, good length ball there, tough to hit. These two, it's funny, Khan was bowling to Edwards, and now Edwards is bowling to Khan, and last weekend they were playing against each other in the Premier Cricket competition up here. So they've seen a lot of each other the last few weeks.
Staring down the wicket at each other.
And
is that an unfair advantage to a wicket keeper to be able to, do the wicket? If you're wicket keeping in the first innings, you get a good feel for the pitch and how it's all working, and your eyes in, and then they should send the wicket keeper in to open the batting while it's fresh.
Hey, I'd love that rule. I'd love to open the batting every game.
This is a great shot. This is going to go for 4. Split that gap there. It wasn't a big gap, but beautifully played, and guided it through there for 4 more. So 2 fours in the innings already.
And that's what these batters will do. They'll hit boundaries. They're both boundary hitters. So, yeah, it's going to be... It could happen quite quickly here where the Storm get these runs. But, yeah, this is very important. This moment in the game right now, this little period in the game is very important for the City Cyclones. And I think they have to get a wicket.
So Khan on strike here to face Edwards. Drops it down for no chance of a run. No wicket for 11 in the second over.
And it's quite good, this start for the Cyclones, because they are in the power play, the first 4 overs where they can only have 2 outs. So if they can keep them under 1 a ball, that run rate needs to be under 6 in the power play, that'll be good for them.
He stood back, hit this over the top of those close in fielders there. This is going to go all the way as well. If they can get there, that's a good chase. Stopped it.
Good chase down there from Ryan Mcelduff. And he's received some good support as well. Always important to have 2 running out to the boundary, just in case if they flick it back and then there's someone there to throw the ball in.
None for 11. Off 2 overs, Wright is on 6, Khan is on 7, so that's 14 actually, none for 14. Good start. So it was a better start than what the Cyclones had, because they lost a wicket in the first over, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. They managed to get that early wicket.
But then that partnership then was a good one between Edwards and Larkin.
Yeah. Here's a chance.
Big shot around the corner. That's gone all the way. I'm not sure that might have landed just inside, or was it a 6? No, it's a 4. 4 runs from a good shot.
Good effort there from Ryan. Yeah, it's a game of inches.
Khan's pretty quick bowler. Guthrie, rather.
I'd say that was a half chance there for the Cyclones, and that's what they need right now. They need a half chance to go their way just to pick up this first wicket. But a great shot there from Josh Khan.
Khan's still on strike, on 11. Facing Guthrie, he's none for 10. He's in his second over. Outside the off stump. Hit through that gap again. That's a glorious shot. That gap is not big, and he hits that square through that gap and hits it right out to the boundary. So 4 more.
Brilliant shot there from Josh, and they're both boundary hitters, and Josh, especially against spin, he will put them under the pump. So yeah, he's batting tremendously at the moment, and this is dangerous here for the Cyclones. They really need to peg this back and try and restrict these 2 Storm openers and yeah, future Hurricanes.
We'll get a single here, keeper onto it. But Guthrie's expensive.
Yes, he bowled quick in the other game, so as we see the replay there.
There's a short ball and he just knocked it to the ground in front of him and set off for the single quickly. He managed to get through comfortably. None for 23.
Guthrie's certainly one player that is capable of getting these top order wickets, so he'll be hoping right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a 3rd over just to try and get that early wicket.
So right on strike now. Hits this off the stumps. Went out towards that gap again. Didn't get past them though. And didn't time the ball as well as he would have liked to.
Mac right on strike now. He has had a really good tournament. As I mentioned before, he did score 100 against the Cyclones the last time they played. That was in the one-day competition, and he hasn't had a score below 20. So
that's where he wanted it, and he tried for that gap again, but they've closed it up now and make it more difficult for him, and he didn't get through then. So he's on 6, Khan's on 16, none for 23. There's that shot again.
Yeah. Good pressure. Bowling well to right here, 6 off 8.
He's patient. It's almost like the screws are being tightened. He's gonna let loose in a minute.
Yeah, and he can play a ramp shot. Oh no!
Glides this away, picks up a couple. Or they're just going to take the 1, or does it go all the way? It goes all the way for 4. Well played. Nice little shot. Just dabbed it away and let it roll, using the pace of the bowler all the way to the rope.
And I don't think there was much risk taken in that. That's what made it such a good cricket shot, is that it's low risk. He's used the pace, and I don't think the Cyclones have executed what they wanted there. They had a deep square out and a fine leg, and yeah, there's been a wide ball bowled outside off stump.
I don't think Guthrie will continue to bowl. He's just too expensive. You think they'll give him another one?
Yeah, I think they'll hold him off. They might try some spin, but Guthrie, with his pace and what he's done, in previous competitions, they'll certainly give him a crack again with his pace to try and get another wicket and break this game through. But Jack Edwards coming in now will be trying to pick that first wicket up. Wow.
Yeah, that was hit hard. Not in the middle of the bat. You can tell the sound, can't you, really? When it's in the middle of the bat, it's a completely different sound. But that was hit low down on the bat.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to take a close look at that bat Josh Khan has got, because I did hear today that he did receive his new bat from Gray Nichols. It got delivered not that long ago, so I wonder if he's using that bat today. But that sounded quite nice off the bat, that last shot.
It's outside the leg stump, and he just works it away around the corner. He needs to get 2 from it. Yes, I've got to tell you my Gray Nichols story. I bought a Gray Nichols bat from Rowan Jarman in Alice Springs, in Adelaide. Barry Jarman was the Australian wicketkeeper, owned the sports shop.
Yeah.
Get back to that in a minute. It's a replay of it. And they sent it up to me, and it was a Gray Nichols super short, had a short handle on it, which I asked for. Stay with this ball. This is Edwards running into bowl. Short ball, hit around the corner for a single. Yes, and anyway, it arrived here, which I was very happy with, and I batted with it on this particular day, and I got a bouncer in the innings, and the ball climbed up and hit me in the mouth. Oh. Nearly knocked my teeth out. So I left.
No helmet on?
No, I didn't have helmets in those days. And so I had to go to the hospital and get tested. And while I was away, someone used my bat and went for a quick single and sprinted. In those days, I used to have the mat. Hang on. Ball outside the off stump.
Bowled from Jack Edwards.
And chance for a run-out hit. He hit. He didn't slide the bat. He didn't expect it to hit, but he was on the line. I think he's pretty safe. Anyway, the ball, someone used the bat while I was away and took off for a single. In those days, they had the mat, and they had these steel pegs holding them in. Skidded with the bat and hit the peg and tore a piece out of the front of the bat. So I come back from the hospital with my teeth all loose and split lip, and my bat was broken. My brand new Gray Nichols. It was not a good day. It was not a good day.
You've just had it all there. Jeez.
Here's Edwards. None for 13. 1.4 overs from him.
And that's well bowled from Edwards. And that run out looked close. But luckily Khan's still out there. But that's what they need, the Cyclones. They need a wicket to fall their way. And there's Mac. He also received a few bats from Kookaburra while he was up here. And I think we're a chance here to see that shot over cover that he promised.
Well, it's in his mind. Has he got the ability? There he goes. Not over cover, out towards mid-wicket. More square leg than mid-wicket, only a single.
Good throw in from the boundary from Campbell Callaway. And that's the over.
Let's have a look at the replay. There it is. It's a good shot. He played that well because there's plenty of fielders out there, and he managed to lob it in the safe spot. So he takes the score. His score, Khan's 18, Wright's 14. No wicket for 33. At the end of this over, we'll invite the CEO of NT Cricket to join us.
Yes, Joel Morrison. I'm looking forward to chatting with him. And
you've got some questions there. You put it ready for him?
Yeah, I've got a few in my mind for him. So
curly ones or?
Yeah, a few big questions. So no doubt, don't want to miss it. And Joel, he's done plenty of media over the time, and this year NT Cricket's been quite busy in the media actually. Have you noticed that? In the
plenty of coverage.
You work at the ABC,
yeah,
so
you'd
be seeing the coverage.
Well, the newspapers and the radio stations and televisions all over the cricket, which is good.
Yeah. And
cricket's been awakened, I reckon, in the last couple of years since Joel Morrison. I hope he's not listening, but since he's been there, it's been, it's the whole thing's changed. It's a different cricket story.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk more to him about that. Umpire stands there, ready. He's got his, looks like Nelson, whips it around the corner, takes off for a walking single.
And Dylan Hunter coming on now to bowl. And Dylan Hunter actually played club cricket with Jack Edwards. So Josh Khan did play against Dylan Hunter as well as Edwards on the weekend. So Josh Khan has had a look at Dylan Hunter before this, and he's just used his feet and popped it down towards long off.
Will amble through for a single. That's the interesting thing with T20 and the shorter formats. The spin bowlers come on really quickly.
Yeah, and you even see sometimes they even open the bowling.
Yeah.
Good shot there from Mac. Pretty sensible from him. It looks like he's just being a bit sensible, and I think he might know that Josh Khan is capable of taking the spinners down. So I think Josh, in one of these balls, something's going to go in the air.
So Khan on strike.
Oh.
Oh, step back. The ball followed him. He didn't read it at all. Lucky it didn't hit his pads and roll onto his stumps.
See what happens here. And there it is. Oh.
Got it up.
And there's the first wicket for the City Cyclones, and it's Josh Khan. Great piece of bowling from Dylan Hunter. He's just brought his length back, and it's been taken. I think that's Jack Edwards who took Keegan Oates, sorry, who took the catch, and it is him, the Tasmanian. So nice safe hands. I'm sure the ball would have been spinning as he caught it. So a nice comfortable catch. And as you can see there, Nick Larkin talking to the boys, trying to work out a way to get back in this game.
Yes, it's good batting here by the Storm. None for 36 they were before they lost that wicket.
An incoming batsman now is Sam Fanning from Western Australia. He made the trip across to Western Australia from New South Wales. So he grew up and played all this cricket in New South Wales and then made the move to WA. And he's been playing in their side, their state team, and been involved in that program. So he's certainly one that can keep the momentum going here for the Southern Storm. And I think that last wicket with Dylan Hunter, I reckon he's done his research because he played against Josh Khan on the weekend.
This might be Webster, in fact. It is, and he hits it away on the offside for a single.
Oh, and it is Webster. You're right.
Bo Webster.
Yep. So they might have made a change in the order, I don't know. But yes, they've got Bo Webster from the Melbourne Stars. I don't know if that's officially been announced yet, but he did play for the Renegades last year, and he's just knocked the one down the ground for a single to start off his innings.
That was a good picture there of the long and the short of it all.
Yeah.
He's a tall guy, Webster.
And here's number 14 for the City Cyclone, Keegan Oates. He has he recently made 100 playing for the local cricket club up here, Palmerston. And now he's coming on for a bowl, so this is quite important. If they can pick up a few wickets here, that last wicket has brought them back into the game and given them a chance. So good opportunity here.
One for 37. Oates was out for a duck. Let's introduce Joel. Morrison has dropped over to see us. Joel, hello, welcome.
Good to be with you, Charlie. Max, how are you doing?
We're enjoying the cricket. It's a good night. Well done for all the work you've done to make all this happen. Disappointing that you couldn't get the Melbourne teams here, but you might want to explain how things just didn't quite work out, but beyond your control, of course.
Yeah, disappointing, but unfortunately that's the world we're living in at the moment with coronavirus, so you've just got to roll with the punches.
Keegan Oates coming into bowl now.
Exposes the stumps. We've been talking about all the different shots that have evolved over the years. They've taken real risks to play these shots, and that's a perfect example. Expose all the stumps, walk away, and then hit it off the stumps. But it makes good cricket, doesn't it?
Sure does. As the replay, it's lovely down to fine leg here. It's a 360 game now, and you can't just play in the traditional V like you used to with Test cricket back in the 70s and 80s. You've now got to really be able to score at all parts of the ground, and particularly in this format of the game.
Joe, how hard is it to put a tournament together like this? We'll just wait on this pole from Oates and hit straight down the ground for 4. That's a glorious shot. The outfield, and I've got to say that the outfield is so fast here. The curators do a great job, don't they?
They certainly do, and in the middle of dry season when you get nothing but the sun baking on the grass for 6 months of the year, the team do a fantastic job to get it looking like this, and certainly it means the ball certainly goes lightning quick across the outfield. And
Wright using all of that to his advantage, faces Oates as he runs in and bowls, and just stepped inside this and belted it away. That's a massive hit.
And that's gone towards the golf course there, over the fence for 6. So a great shot there from Mac Wright. Now, Joel, we saw the Melbourne teams unfortunately couldn't make it up due to the lockdown, but they've committed to next year, which is some great news.
Absolutely, and it's a big tick of approval for the Cricket 365 program that even though in the circumstances this year with the lockdown they couldn't get up here, they've really enjoyed what they've seen and been hearing a lot of positive words coming out of the players involved and the coaches from around Australia, and it's great to see them early commitment for next year, and we look forward to hosting them, and hopefully at that stage it's a bit more certain to play a national sport given the challenging times with coronavirus.
Yeah, that's brilliant news.
Wait on this ball, pitched up, worked off the pads. Might go for 4 as well. Gee, they're in a hurry here. Could be a 12 over match the way they're going.
It's certainly picked up, hasn't it? The ball's going everywhere at the moment. It's good to see the Hurricanes sorry, not the Hurricanes, it's the Storm in the purple throwing me off with the big bat. The Cyclones are in a bit of trouble at the moment because the Storm are looking totally under control, and Mac Wright, 30 off 19, he's absolutely flying.
And
a big swoosh at this one, didn't get contact at all.
This Cricket 365 competition, the one-day comp, now the T20s and the Chamber Top End Series, this whole concept, Cricket 365, whose idea was it?
It's come out of the Northern Territory, and we've got a key point of difference in that we have a winter cricket season and we've got a winter cricket ecosystem, and we see it being a really competitive advantage for Australian cricket. They can play year-round in Australia, south in summer, north in winter. And we've really worked hard to not only create a product that markets and promotes cricket here in the top end and creates a really strong pathway for our players, but also a product that links into the national game that can take advantage of that 12-month opportunity.
Wait here, Hunter's bowling. Webster works it around the corner.
And that's really the opportunity has existed in the past through local club cricket, but what we really wanted to do was put in place a high-performance program that can complement and then enhance the offering for Australian cricket so that you can play high-level cricket here, and we can partner with the states to get some of those emerging players through, or contracted players like we're seeing.
1 for 55 right on 30 from 20, dances down the wicket, works it away out towards mid-wicket and ambles through for a single.
And then really trying to create a unique opportunity in that you have these young players from around the country playing with and against their peers across the country rather than just like they normally would in their home state. So it's great for talent development across Australia.
Under to Webster.
Good Yorker there. And there's also been a little bit of talk around having some hopefully COVID's around at the moment, but hopefully that settles down, and there's even been some potential for this to be an overseas concept.
Yeah, that's right. The long-term opportunity we see is having international teams get involved as well, and Papua New Guinea were really keen to play this year in the Strike League that you're watching now. But obviously, given the challenges of coronavirus, very difficult to get international teams in and out of the country, and particularly for a competition like this, which is semi-professional, and you can't have teams relying on biosecure bubbles, but they definitely want to get back here in the future.
Because I remember when there was no cricket being played around the world, it was being played here and being streamed and seen all around the world.
That's right. We had an opportunity to get cricket back up and running in Darwin, and it was pretty well the first cricket in the world, so it's a great opportunity when you do have a large geography like Australia with different climates, that if you leverage that geography, if you leverage the ability to play year round, it opens up so many opportunities for Australian cricket, and we see it as a real strength and advantage for our game here in Australia.
So 1 for 57, Storm.
Yeah, and as a player, from my perspective, I think the way I've seen it and across the playing group, it's just been fantastic. Did you ever think it would sort of get to this point and work so well?
Well, we were confident when we were building the concept that it would work well, but you never really know until you put it in place. And given the challenges of trying to build a national program in the middle of a pandemic, it was a high ask and there was a high degree of risk, but we firmly believed in the concept, and we've been absolutely thrilled that the theory that went into building this concept has come to life in practice, and to have players like yourself talking so highly about what you've been able to get out of the cricket is a credit to the whole team here, and bodes well for the future for Cricket 365.
1 for 57, Joel Morrison with us, CEO of NT Cricket. Wait on this ball. Edmondson bowling. Webster hits it away.
And from a national perspective, what has been the response from each of the states and from Cricket Australia and the nation?
It's been really positive. It was difficult to get things going initially because it's a new concept and it's trying to get people to understand what we're trying to achieve and why. But the coronavirus pandemic has presented a lot of challenges, obviously, but it's also presented a lot of opportunities. And really, Cricket 365, or the idea of Cricket 365, crystallised out of the pandemic and the challenges that presented the national game.
Hit through the covers for a single, 1 for 59.
And with the Australian cricket ecosystem, I guess, really focusing on the last summer of cricket and trying to get through and play the Big Bash leagues and state cricket and international cricket.
Got an edge on that, and off it went. No slip down there. It's going to roll all the way, but the fielder will get there and keep it to just a couple of runs.
We knew that coming off the back of the summer of cricket, that with the challenges of international travel and so many cricket not being played, or so much cricket not being played, that there was going to come a time when people said, well, what do we do now? What's next? So we really used that time during this summer of cricket when everyone else was really focused on delivering the season to really crystallise this idea and be able to go and present to Cricket Australia and all the states the concept of Cricket 365. And the timing was right, and we went really hard to put it in place, and really pleasingly all the states bought into that, and you're seeing a mix of between 3 to 7 players out of every state being nominated to play, and a mix of Territorians as well.
What do you say to people who think that 365 has got something to do with gambling?
Well, I say a lot of people can capitalise on the numbers 365, but for us it's really about trying to showcase that cricket in this country can be played 365 days a year, so absolutely got nothing to do with gambling, but it is a great strategic opportunity for Australian cricket to be able to play year round, and it's something that us as an international playing nation is the only nation that has that opportunity in the world. So it's not just an advantage for us domestically, but also on the international scene, and particularly now, Max, players like yourself looking to go to a higher level and eventually try and play international cricket for Australia. If you want to play all 3 forms of the game, you're going to have to be able to play year round, so why not start preparing players in Australia for that challenge?
And from a local level, from locals around the territory, what has been sort of their response in being able to play at a local club at Tracy Village? I've spoken to their president, and how's that communication been with them and trying to keep things flowing while you're bringing in this new concept?
Yeah, one of the challenges you obviously have when you build a new concept is you don't have this clarity on exactly what it's going to look like and how it's going to roll out.
Cool.
And that was certainly the case this year. So we had a pretty good idea, and so there was a lot of education around what we think it's going to look like, but also acknowledging that as a new concept, it's going to take some time to sort of find its feet and sort of evolve as we go.
So Mcelduff on with the bowling now.
And one of the challenges that we clearly have is the Darwin competition and then Cricket 365 overlaps and is on at the same time. So there's a lot of advantage to that, but there's also a lot of challenges as well, and for club cricket in particular.
Run out chance, but it looks like it's been given not out.
Chance of a run out. Yeah, it didn't look like it was out at all.
From a club perspective, great for players in terms of being able to go to a higher level and get that higher level of cricket here and provide a good pathway. But there's always the push and pull between then players having a lot of cricket, having to manage their loads with training and games. So that's one of the key challenges we have to continue to work through. But I think on balance, it is very positive for cricket in the top end and club cricket because it helps promote the game of cricket, provides a great pathway, but it is an ongoing challenge to make sure it works for both.
To right, and he swings this around the corner. Big hit from him, 1 bounce and over the fence for 4. That's a good shot. Target 132 looks gettable in about 6 or 7 overs from now. Joel, how important is it to get the Darwin public behind cricket so they turn up and watch some of this? Because you come down and watch it, and I mean it's interesting, it's good, it's nice to watch, and it's competitive, colourful, exciting. Is it a hard sell?
Well,
that's a brilliant shot there from Mac Rod.
That's what we're talking about. I mean,
yes.
The explosive shots, isn't it?
And that's what's going to bring the crowds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Charlie. It's for everything you've just seen there. It is it is high-level cricket, and one of the big challenges we know with Cricket 365 is educating the public that you have high-level cricket here played in Darwin, because we haven't had elite-level cricket here for at least a decade. So we want to get the message out now that with the Cricket 365 program, you can watch high-level cricket in your backyard during the dry season every year moving forward. And not only do you see some of the best players in Australia, but you see some of the best territory players running around at the same time.
And we've had high-level cricket here. You're right, we had a test match and a couple of one-days. Sri Lanka came, Bangladesh came. Nobody come to watch it. We broadcast it for the ABC, and very few people turned up to watch it. It was so disappointing. Ricky Ponting was batting. It was just, do you know what I mean? It was great cricket. McGrath was around. It was amazing stuff, but people, I don't know, why are they not that interested?
Yeah, and context is important, and I think that context of it not being something that's been played regularly is why we really want to build a strong Cricket 365 program, so that we build that culture of high-level cricket being played every year in Darwin at a time that we're playing cricket. And by doing that, that'll change the attendance culture at matches. It'll promote the sport in a way that is relevant to the people at the top end, because we're effectively creating our own version of the Big Bash League or international cricket, where in the summer of cricket you've got that year in, year out, which helps promote the game and also promotes a pathway for those playing or coaching or involved as a match official. So for us, this becomes our own localised version of Big Bash or international cricket, which we really hope will grow the game over the longer term.
And we've seen COVID as the captain's just chat, Jack Edwards. We've seen COVID impact in different ways for different sectors and businesses and organisations, but there's been a bit of impact that it's had on this tournament. And, you know, obviously we just had a 3-day lockdown. We've just come out of it today as Dylan Hunter just comes into bowl. Oh!
Right, just nearly caught there, went over the top. Just got a hand on it.
And that was almost the one he promised us, the one over cover. But Jack Edwards...
I can see that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and 2 metre tall, it's hard to get it over him. He's picked the wrong fielder. But, yeah, COVID, we just come out of a 3-day lockdown, and it's influenced... How's it influenced the NT cricket? And, yeah...
It certainly made life really tricky to try and plan and prepare with what's going on, but credit to the team and the ability to get this game back on so quickly.
The reverse sweep.
Good stop from the fielder.
I think what it has given is the top end and the territory a wake-up call, because we've been able to live in our own little bubble for a while, which is through great management by the Northern Territory government with the measures that have been put in place. But coronavirus is here to stay, and it's here to stay, and it's going to present a lot of challenges for us as we move forward. So it's something that we have to just factor into our planning.
It hasn't affected the domestic cricket that gets played here too much?
No, we've been relatively unimpacted, which has been really good. It caused us to lose a round of club cricket earlier on in the year when we had our first Darwin lockdown, but pleasingly it looks like a full round of club cricket will be played this weekend, despite the fact that we've just been locked down for 3 days. And you know, credit to the resilience of the cricket community and the team in Northern Territory cricket that 3 hours after lockdown has ended, we've got a game that's ready to go, and we're here playing tonight.
Now, I wanted to ask you one final question about it's a cricket question about an injury to players. And I did mention this to you before. I'm talking about Mark Wood, the English fast bowler, who dived to save 1 run and almost tore his arm out of the socket. I mean, is that a discussion that has to happen, that players need to be thinking about their welfare and not saving 1 run? It's a good message to send to the rest of the team if you're desperate, but is there something in there where players need to be thinking about that sort of thing?
And that's a great wicket taken there from Dylan Hunter. He's just bowled a Yorker and he's dismissed Bo Webster, and that's a massive wicket for the Cyclones. And look, it might be a big ask now, but a few more wickets and they're a sniff. So that's a good start, and they celebrated there, so they know they've got a bit of belief.
Sorry I had to leave you there, Charles.
Yeah, the wicket fell.
It's a key wicket to go 2 down now, which is really important for the Cyclones to get back in the game. But it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because for me, it would all come down to you've got to weigh up the circumstances of the game and the opportunity cost, I guess, in terms of the ability to save the runs or put yourself in a vulnerable situation. So if the game's on the line, I think every day of the week, and Max is probably the one who will back me up on this, you're going to put your body on the line. But you do need to be mindful of that, particularly when you're playing Test cricket and you're over the 5 days, because if you put your body on the line at the wrong time, we've just seen what can happen with Mark Wood with the shoulder injury. So you've got to pick your moments for sure.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? And sort of raised its head on the back of the Mark Wood incident. All right, Joel, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us, mate. It's good to have you on, and well done making this all work. And it's enjoyable to come down and watch it and share it here on the stream. It's good as well.
Thanks for having me on, and appreciate you both getting involved with the commentary. Good luck with the rest of the call.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Joel, and big thanks to Joel Morrison in general for doing a great job with with himself and the whole team at NT Cricket for putting this on. It's been quite remarkable, and I'm sure for the listeners out there, they'd be quite, it's an eye-opener really, this, and how good it is to have this sort of cricket on in Australia at this time of year. Never really happened before in history, so a real credit to them, and it's got a big future ahead, hasn't it,
yeah.
Charlie?
It's important to have your visitors here as well, enjoying it. Sam Fanning, the new batsman in. You called him early, but he's come in now, so
yeah.
you were premeditating. Dabs at this and gets a single out of it.
Yeah.
So 2 for 80, and we're in the 11th over.
And I hope that's the last ball of the over, because yes, it is.
Yep.
And that's good, because that's the new batter coming in, so I don't mind that they've got the fielders back, because he's taken a single there, so now the new batter is on strike for the next over, which I don't mind. So now they've got an opportunity to put a bit of pressure on him, but I want to see hopefully a few fielders in the ring rather than out on the outskirts, because they haven't got many runs to defend here, and the Storm can just cruise over the line here. So I want to see the Cyclones be a little bit attacking, because they need to take wickets.
Yeah.
And I hope they bring a few fielders in and just create a bit of pressure.
And the biggest risk is no risk at all, isn't it, really, when you think about it? 2 for 80, required run rate 5.2, wickets to fall. Khan was out for 19 and Webster out for 10. Fanning is there, but it's Mac Wright who's doing the damage, 47 off 29.
Yeah.
Batting beautifully. But this is Fanning on strike. He's a lefty. He's facing Edmondson. Tosses it up on the leg stump. Works it around the corner. Gets a single.
So the situation is here is 52 off 10 overs. So 52 off 60 balls. So that's one a ball. So the Cyclones are definitely a chance here. They need to create a bit of pressure. They've dismissed Josh Khan and Bo Webster, and that's 2 very, very good wickets that you want to have. So now they've got to continue this as Mac Wright just knocks one down to mid-wicket.
So I think Wright will want to guide them to victory here, won't he? He'll want to stay there. He wants to stay there and get a big score. And what are they still? They're chasing, was it 50 runs?
Yeah, they need about 50 now. And you're spot on, Charlie. Wright will just want to, as a captain would, and as anyone would here, sensibly, they just run this innings home, and they just knock around ones, as Mac is doing right now, which is very sensible from him and appropriate. But that one, for example, that's gone straight to mid-on. If that fielder was inside the circle, that probably isn't a single, and that's one less run for the Southern Storm, and that's keeping the new batter on strike, which I want to see. So I'd love to see a little bit of pressure being created here, but
that's a good. Played that slow. Did he get 2? No, he just got the 1.
They're in this game though. I understand, and people are probably listening saying, why am I saying this? And there should be 5 fielders out, which there is an argument for that. And you can have 5 fielders out, but they've actually brought in, they've only got 4 out, so it's good pressure being created here. And this is a dot ball, so that's what you want. That's awesome from the Cyclones there.
Fanning played it well though, chopped it away, didn't get the run he wanted. Have a look at it here.
Yep, he did, and if they can create some pressure here, he's the new batter.
Plays a reverse sweep. There's an appeal for LBW, but not out.
And it was interesting because the umpire nodded his head, but maybe he was just
saying good appeal.
yeah. We'll see what he'll see the replay now. Oh, okay, so okay, yeah, we're a bit too far away. If we had the binoculars on, we might have been able to see which way the head swung.
He might have said not out with a little nod.
Yeah, good appeal. Yeah.
Enjoyed the appeal.
Yeah, so that's a good over there, good finish.
There's a little bit of a conference going on. What's happened?
So I think the new bowler coming on now is Ryan Mcelduff. Yep, he's a spinner and he turns the ball. So it'll be interesting to see. Well, he turned it when Tracy Village played Nightcliff, that's his premier club here in Darwin. So he can take a wicket here for sure, and we'll see how he goes. And Mac Wright, he looks switched on here. He's moving the side screen and he's got his head screwed on here because he wants to steer this home, and he's on 49.
So the two number 5s facing each other. He's one run away from getting 50, right? And it's a well compiled 50 if he gets it.
Oh,
shape for the reverse sweep and changed his mind.
And you see what they've done there? They haven't called that a wide because he went for the reverse sweep, but it sort of turned into a left-hand batter.
Yeah.
Interesting. That wouldn't have been in the rule book 15 years ago,
no,
I don't think.
No, that'd be nowhere in the rule book those years ago. So here's Mcelduff again. And he dances down the wicket. He's going to get the single to give him the 50. He got to the 50. Well done. Mac Wright, 50 off 32. That's a top innings. 33, in fact. Good innings.
Absolutely, and that's tremendous from him. He's brought up his half century, and that's the 4th time he's gone beyond 50 in his campaign so far. And good to see his teammates have hooked onto it, and they've just gotten the clap for 50 in time for the raise of the bat.
Current run rate 7.5, and then he's bowled him. Went to sweep, missed, and hit leg stump. Middle and leg stump, in fact. And Fanning departs.
And that's the wicket they needed. And this game is right on track here, chasing 132. That's the wicket they needed. And it's gone around his legs. So it seemed like Fanning just fell over there and got too far across his crease. But brilliant bowling there from Mcelduff. And they needed that wicket. So well done.
Right's the one they want, though, don't they? If they can get right, then they'll be back in this game.
Yep.
They need to get him quick.
Absolutely. And coming in now is Ash Chandrasinghe, who is from Victoria and plays for Casey South Melbourne in the Premier Cricket competition there. And he is another one. Similar to Callaway, he had a brilliant season as a young batter. He's 19 years old and he had a brilliant season last year in the Premier Cricket competition. Scored multiple centuries, and as a youngster, brilliant effort from him. And I think, in my opinion, he's one to look out for in the future, and he's got a big future ahead. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes today.
Just slightly taller than Wright.
Yep.
Ash Chandrasinghe.
He has come up to Darwin and used it as an opportunity, really, to improve his cricket and develop his cricket. I think it's his 2nd year coming up to the Northern Territory in the off-season, so he comes up here during the Melbourne winter to spend some time here playing cricket. So he is certainly one that takes his cricket very seriously, and his performances are showing for all his hard work.
So he got middle stump and then he got off stump as well. So he's got 2 marks there. So he's putting his feet where middle stump is and the bat where the off stump is. Interesting.
Yeah. Every batter, you know.
What do you get when you set up?
Yeah. So I mark middle stump, and then, but my back foot will be over middle, over the line. So it'll be batting. It'll be on middle and off,
right.
And then my front foot will be on middle and leg. So it's a little slightly open stance.
Ripped it in. That's a great return. And has he run him out? No, he hasn't. They thought they had him. He didn't think so, Chandrasinghe.
And Banjo wearing the keeper, he's quite stunned by that decision. He thought it was out. So did a few of the fielders, and I think that was fielded. Might have been Keegan Oates with the throw into the keeper. But hopefully we get a replay here, because that was interesting. That looked, the reaction of the fielders seemed like it was a lot closer than what it should have been.
Yeah, it's a contradictory messages coming through, because the batsman obviously thought he wasn't out. And the fielders thought he was. It made it interesting.
And good pressure here, and a great over there from Mcelduff. Putting 2-3 dots on Chandrasinghe there and getting the wicket.
So that opens up right now to face the next over, which is exactly what the Cyclones want, because they want to go at him, don't they? They want to get rid of him.
They do. Yeah, absolutely. And Jackson Edmondson, he's bowling right now, so with his spin, so yeah, they'll certainly want to get Mac right out. But if they can't get him out, certainly they want to have him off strike. But they really need to get that wicket. But it's interesting right now, the situation 47 to win off 8 overs.
Oh, gee. He's gone through for the run.
Well, and
in the end, I think he must have stood there and watched that, did he? Because he only got the single.
I think we see the replay here. I think he should have gone in for the catch there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Wright was watching.
Regardless, good result. He's off strike, so they can have a crack now at Ash Chandrasinghe and try and pick up a wicket.
It's so noticeable, the different way people bat. Do you know what I mean? Like, some are elegant and careful, and some are more explosive, and you know, some will work with flicks and glides and leg glances and whatever, where others are more attacking, and it's just the different people and different styles.
Oh, absolutely. And that's cricket. It's such a funny game. There's so many variables that make it very unpredictable, and you know, everyone bats differently.
And certainly in the stance too, the way people stand at the wicket when they're batting. Like, there's some have their feet close together, some wide apart. You know, some have the bat between their feet, some have it behind the back leg. You know, all these different things.
Well, that's right.
So you can't just sit with the manual and say this is what you should do.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It doesn't apply.
Yeah, you mentioned. It's funny you mentioned the manual there. Like, yeah, I don't think many coaches will be walking around with a textbook these days.
No, they're throwing the textbook in the bin. Yeah. I think John Harper, was that his name? He was the English coach of the English women's side, I think, but also John Harmer. I forget his name, but anyway, he was in Darwin once, and I had a chat with him, and he said one of the things that he always did was put a stick on the ground and say, pick it up as though it's a cricket bat. And that's how you should hold it. However you pick that up, that's how you should hold it.
Yeah.
Not try and change your grip.
Yeah.
You know, we were taught the 2 Vs, you know, the bottom hand V over one shoulder, the top hand V goes over another shoulder.
Yeah, that's there's all these. Yeah, it's a good way. It's always a good way. And
nearly to the boundary, right 54.
Yeah, it's always a good way to sort of teach your players, is to sort of give them something as clear cut as that. When you pick up a stump, that's how you hold the bat. I'm just trying to think of an analogy for that, but yeah, there's certainly you know, with just trying to think, I can't think of. I'll get back to you on an analogy, but
Did you have coaching? Who coached you?
Yeah, I had like I haven't really had. I've had many. I've had many coaches over my time. I've never really done private coaching. Yeah, but I've had various coaches from my local club, and as I've moved up from school cricket, Premier Cricket, and now coming here for the Cricket 365. So various coaches, and even from a pathways level, I've had some really good coaches there, and I've been lucky enough to, and many of the other players playing in this competition are lucky enough to be exposed to the players that are out there right now playing professional cricket, and you know, for example, Tim Payne came down for the Cricket Australia 11 to be a development coach. So, you know, getting exposed to like the Australian cricket captain is quite special.
But classy, the real class cricketers are something to watch, aren't they? They're just amazing when they. I mean, I saw Ryan Lara make 100 in Alice Springs when the West Indies played at Australia, Northern Territory side made up of Australian players. Hit 100, and the first time we had a look at him, but he just looked so good, you know. It was amazing. And even the bowlers, you know, the big tall bowlers, Curtly Ambrose and those West Indian bowlers, are amazing to see in action. Glenn McGrath.
Yeah.
I never get tired of watching them play. They're just amazing.
Yeah. And I think I was talking to Mac Wright as Keegan comes in. And they're pushing for 2 here.
Good call. One on the arm.
Yeah, I was talking to Mac Wright because he's lucky enough to have him as a roommate. And he was saying how, and we were having a discussion about how the coaches these days, you get so much coaching from your peers and the players you play with. Like, you know, in my team, I'm learning from players that are playing in the same era as me. Because the game has evolved so much. The coaches typically are older, and they played in a different era. So you learn so much.
What worked for them doesn't apply now.
That's right. Yeah. So I've learned so much from, and it seems like it's the same for other players where they learn off each other. A lot, as well as the coaches. But learning off each other is something that's been common among the modern players.
Oates to Chandrasinghe in the air a bit for a little while. So 3, 4, 96, I think. 95? 95.
And it's getting down to the wire here.
But 32, well, 37 they need.
37 off 39 balls. I've just tried to test my math skills out, and I think that's the equation.
So it's a run of ball.
So 36 off 38 now. So game's certainly in the balance. 36 off 38. So
which is amazing, really, that the Cyclones have fought their way back here. I mean, they looked gone for all money, didn't they?
Yeah, and it's funny. Like, cricket can change so quickly. You know, like we were talking about when the Cyclones were batting in their first, when they batted first today, and we were saying 160 at the start, and then it changed quickly, and they ended up only getting 132. So cricket can change. It's a funny sport, and Keegan Oates is bowling to Mac Wright. They've played it with each other at Tasmania together, so they know each other.
So here's Oates running in. Good contest. 3 for 96, 36 from 37 balls. So run a ball to get us home. There's a replay of it on the leg side. Little chat between the two, Chandrasinghe and Mac Wright. What do they be saying there? We need to hit a couple of fours to take the pressure off.
Yeah. It would be really good to have a mic right there right now. But I think...
You've been out there. What do you guys talk about?
Yeah.
What do you say when it's a situation like this?
One a ball, the conversation would be, let's just keep going the way we're going here, because I think they really don't need to take a risk here. They can just keep batting, trying to keep rotating the score, but there's no need for a big shot or a big risk. It's just about keeping the score ticking without giving them a wicket, really. So that'd be the key here. Just to keep rotating the strike, trying to get singles. Really low risk singles would be the goal.
And cricket used to be always about the deeper you get into the batting order, the easier it is to get the wicket. That's thrown out the window. Do you know what I mean? We just saw India beat England with the tail enders coming out, and Bumrah, you know, that average is about 2 or something. All of a sudden he's hitting like 30 or 40 runs. Like, it's extraordinary.
Yeah, and I heard about that. The media certainly didn't let them off with that performance.
So here's Guthrie back in the attack.
Oh.
Works us around the corner. Chandra Singh.
That's a great shot. Low risk, and he's managed to get a 4 from it.
Maybe that's what the chat was about.
Yes.
Let's see if we can pick up a 4 to take some pressure off. Because, you know, if you're going to try and run a ball and it only gets you to the line, you get it off the last ball, there's too much pressure in that.
Yeah, that's true. And I think, yeah, the conversation, you know, would have been something along the lines of, if you get a bad ball, punish it.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting bad balls, just stick around, work it around. That's it. And Ash has certainly done that there, just punishing a wider ball down leg.
Here's Guthrie in. That's a good shot too. Worked it through that little gap. They'll get 1 though only. So that's 5 off 2 balls. That's just, you know, just releases the pressure.
Yes, but Guthrie, I'll tell you what, he's come up here for the T20, so he'd be hungry than ever to get a wicket, and he's one of the leading bowlers in this team, so I know that, yeah, he's certainly got a chance here to break this game open, and he can get the wicket of Watt right, but that's never easy, right? You know, batting superbly yet again today, and he's been in some superb form, so he will definitely want to get to the end of this game and finish it off.
See, I hope our viewers are right into this, because this is a good battle going on here between 2 good teams. One team probably disappointed with the score they made of 131, but now working hard to defend it.
Yep.
And one man stands at the moment between them and victory, and he's on 56 at the moment and batting. Not seems to be bothered by anything, just doing the job.
Yeah. And he doesn't seem bothered, you're right, Charlie. He's looking really calm at the crease and, yeah, calm and composed.
And Guthrie believes deep in his heart that he can remove him, but why shouldn't he? Here he's just changing to around the wicket. And that's a good shot from him. Just, I don't know what you call that. It's like a block shot. You just drop the dead bat on it and just let it go.
Yeah.
Just go wherever it has to go. Singles a result. 57 he goes to off 40. That's a stunning innings, really. 57 off 40.
Oh, absolutely. And he's had a really good tournament, right? And he set himself up for a really good season when he goes back home and represents Tasmania and Hobart Hurricanes. Yeah, he led the competition in the runs after the one-day competition was completed. So he has really set himself up, and that's what this opportunity to come up here does.
Guthrie to Chandra Singh. Short ball.
And he can.
They're attacking him on his leg stump. What is that? Would that be a plan, Chandra Singh, for some reason?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be. But yeah, I think he's mis-executed there. Well, look at the field. Like the field they've got set for him. Fine leg, third man, deep square on the leg side, and you got your cover out. So it's going to be, I think, back of a length. But no, shorter ball.
It's outside the off stump.
And it's really important here for the bowlers to be really tight here, and you can't really afford to have extras here. That's what you don't want. But cricket can change so quickly, and it's one ball at a time, and it can change in one ball.
We drove down to Adelaide to watch a test match many years ago. We wanted to see Greg and Ian Chappell batting. So we drove all the way down there, and just wait for this ball. It's on the leg stump again.
Oh, he's given it.
Oh, he must have come off the bat. He's not happy, but he might have just jammed down on it and got it off the edge of the bat, and it's flying back to the wicketkeeper, and he's taken the catch.
And a good catch there from Banjo down the leg side.
Let's have a look here.
Ooh.
Oh, there might have been bat in that, I'm sure.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, to finish the story, so
Yeah.
we drove all the way down there, and we went to the Adelaide Oval, and we sat and watched the Australians bat, and Ian Chappell got out to a short ball from Andy Roberts, trying to fend it off his face, got caught behind, and so we thought, oh, that's bad luck. And then Greg Chappell come out to bat, next ball, same ball, same result. So the two guys we come to see got out in two balls. We could turn around and drive back to Darwin.
Oh, no.
We didn't, of course, but you're right, cricket is just like that. That's what happens.
That's right. It can be like that.
Doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
You don't know what's waiting for you.
So you
like
guys,
who was waiting for this, we didn't know.
So you drove from Darwin to Adelaide to watch Ian
and Greg.
Chapter.
Gosh.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
Andy Roberts, it's two fantastic deliveries and it was all over.
Oh.
We just sat there looking at each other and didn't know what to say.
Might have been worth the laugh. That's amazing.
It's funnier now than it was at the time, I can tell you.
Yeah, and that's cricket.
Yeah, it sums it up, doesn't it?
Mm. Now the new batter here is Kyle Scrimjaw.
Right.
So Kyle, from Prospect in South Australia, he had a good season last year. Got 100 and took over 15 wickets. I'm not exactly sure. I'll check that.
Yeah.
But took many wickets in grade cricket last year, and he has. As the ball comes in.
Gee, that was a good ball too, and he played it well. It was well pitched up. It was on the stumps. He jammed down on it.
Absolutely, and that's a nice shot.
So Cyclones playing with some urgency here.
And they need to have that urgency because a wicket is crucial. And Kyle Scrimjaw, another player that it's not an easy wicket yet again. He represented Australia in under-19s.
Kyle did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And he's a Northern Territorian. So he's a local player up here, and he's done very well for himself.
Well, he's facing now, and Guthrie's after him. You can sense something here. Something's going on. The Cyclones have got a whiff of something.
Yeah, and you can sort of sense the intensity in this game is starting to lift. Certainly. And Kyle last year, he made 494 runs at an average of 38. Playing for Prospect in the grade cricket season, and his bowling was superb as well. He took 16 wickets, so he had a really good season. Yeah. For his grade team.
Quite a few Darwin players have gone down and played in the cricket in Adelaide.
Yeah.
With Prospect and Sturt and all those other places. David King was a young tearaway fast bowler from here, went down and played in Adelaide. I think Ken Vowles certainly played in South Australia. And Ken Vowles for a long time held the record for the fastest 100 at the MCG.
Yeah,
under 19 level. Yes.
That's amazing. And is South Australia an attraction for the NT?
Yeah, well, there's a stronger connection between Adelaide and Alice Springs than there is between Darwin and Alice Springs. Darwin and Adelaide.
Yep.
But the cricketers would go through Alice Springs and then go to down south and play. Down south was Adelaide.
Yep.
You know.
Mm. Yep.
And Kensington and all those,
Don Bradman's
teams,
club.
Yeah, they're all happy to have territory players.
Yeah, that's great. So Dylan Hunter coming in.
Full toss. He's going to have to work hard. He's done well. And that's another new part in cricket, isn't it? Two people chase the ball. One slides after it, knocks it back in the field of play, and the other person picks it up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
You didn't see that in Sir Donald's days.
No, always just the one. You go run. Yeah. No, it's a coach killer if he's only seeing one person run to the boundary. That's well bowled from Dylan. Did
the modern players still hold Sir Donald Bradman in high regard?
Yes,
or is he from a dim dark past that's all forgotten?
Well, it is tough as Dylan comes in and he's bowled the same ball, and it's a great result.
Good fielding.
Yep. And yes, I was lucky enough. There's a few patrons at Prospect who are older people, and they knew Don Bradman's. I think he might have been a little bit older than them, or he knew their parents. So I have had a bit of an insight into what he was like.
Mm.
And that's a lovely shot.
That's a great shot. That's 4 all the way, isn't it? 4 all the way. So right doing the job.
And I don't know if we count, it wasn't a 6, so we can't count that one.
It's a good shot. 63, that's a good innings. That's the best innings I've seen here for a while.
Yeah, it's superb.
63 or 44.
Yeah, and that's brilliant from him. Just winning the game really for them, as he's done many times before this campaign. Or there might be a chance.
Oh, what a catch. Fantastic catch.
Campbell Callaway, brilliant catch out in the deep. And that is how they get Mac Wright dismissed. And that's a big wicket because that brings 2 new batters to the crease, and the Cyclones are well and truly back in this game. If they're able to create a bit of pressure, yeah, this game is right in the balance yet again. The Cyclones will be very happy about that wicket, and yes, they'll certainly want to capitalise and try and create some pressure now, bring some dots. They really need dots.
So this is the 16th over. 2 balls left in the 16th over. Then we've got 4 to go. Required run rate still 4.38.
Yeah,
it's not a walk in the park. You've still got to get them. Because dot balls, you're right. Dot balls make it so much more difficult, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and a brilliant innings there from Mac Wright, 63 off 44 balls, tremendous, and that really just sums up how good his tournament's been up here and his time in the Northern Territory, and that's what this opportunity to come up here does. It provides the players with a great opportunity to set themselves a really good platform before they go and play their own season. And for Mac Wright, that season he's playing for the Hurricanes in the Big Bash and playing state cricket. So it's enormous for him what he's been able to do up here, and it should set him up for a really good season.
Yeah, he batted beautifully. So this is Dean Fry?
Yes, it is. And
I've never seen Dean Fry play, so I'm looking forward.
Well,
in this.
Well, you'll be excited to see him because he's won many games before for the Southern Storm, and the first 2 games they had in the one-dayer, he managed to get them out of trouble and win the game for the team. So he's certainly one that's been in this situation before and done the job.
So Scrimgeour's a Territorian.
Yes,
and so is Fry. So that's interesting to see two Territory players out there. They'd play for the Territory as well, and
yeah,
it's state teams. Yep,
they do, and yes, they would have gone through the ranks, playing for the Territory and representing them at underage level, and it's 19 runs to win off the last 24 balls of the game. So the Cyclones have to be tight here, and Jackson Edmondson will be hoping to certainly achieve that, and as he is right there on screen talking to the captain, Jack Edwards, just trying to figure out what they're going to do with the field and all that.
Yeah. That might very well determine the outcome here, the way this field is set.
And Cole Scrimgeour, he likes to go over the top to the spinners, so if they bring the field up, he might take that risk of going over the top. They do have long on out, so that shot might be blocked off for him, but he loves to give himself room and play the cut shot.
He's had to go with this down the leg side.
Oh, and that's costly runs
that's
here.
That's going to be 4 runs.
It might be 4. Oh,
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's 4. Yeah. Keegan Oates
he got to it, but he couldn't control it.
Good effort from him. But yeah, that's costly. It's 15 now required off the last 17 balls. Oh, sorry, not 15 required off the last 23 balls.
So as he dives here, tries to save it, but doesn't get it anywhere except against the rope. And now he's bowled. Amazing. That's cricket summed up right there, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that's kept that 4 was crucial to the Storm's chances of winning, but the very next ball, the Cyclones are back in the game with that wicket, and well bowled there from Jackson Edmondson. And it's quite funny, that wicket, because Jackson and Kyle Scrimgeour, they play at the same club here in Darwin, Tracy Village, so that might not be a good one for the next training session. Jackson might remind Kyle of that. But the game right in the balance here. 2 new batters, so this is going to be an interesting finish. We might be up for a bit of excitement here at the end of this game, Charlie.
Well, Fry, now who's the new batsman? Simon's coming in.
Yeah, so Brodie's, and these two were the ones that got the team over the line when they played the one-day premiers, Desert Blaze. So I remember they needed about, I was playing in that game and the Southern Storm and these 2 batters were out in the middle. They needed, I think, I can't remember now, but I think it was about 60 off the last 10 overs. So 60, they needed 1 a ball and they were about 6 wickets down like they are right now, and they managed to get the job done. So they've been in this situation, but there's been a little bit of momentum swinging the way of the Cyclones here, so they're going to have to be tight and keep it nice and tight and get some dots and create some pressure. Another wicket, geez, if they get wickets here, 2 more wickets and...
then go right to the wire.
Yep.
Hope so. So the game situation is they need 14 from 23 balls to win. And it's been a good fight back from the Cyclones. It didn't look as though they'd made enough when they made only 131. So every ball just really crucial now. And that, I tell you something, that sounded beautiful off the bat.
Yeah, it did. And they've only got 2 fielders out, the Cyclones. Oh, and that's another dot ball, so that's really important, that, and great bowling from Jackson Edmondson. And yeah, they might be in the power surge here. But yeah, good to see the fielders up and creating pressure. Oh.
Single.
And that's one that the Cyclones would be hoping that would be a dot, and that's what they need.
But you know what I'd do if he blocks a couple like that? I'd bring a fielder in.
Yes.
Come in.
To stop the single.
Cut the single off. Put the pressure on. Keep the pressure on them all the time.
Absolutely. You're spot on, Charlie. And that's where you want the zigzag field.
Yeah.
Good keeping from Banjo. And Banjo, he's from Alice Springs, so he'd be playing all year round if he's from Alice.
Yeah. He's a good keeper.
Great take.
So Fry having a little bit of trouble here. And he tried to play the reverse sweep, but just wasn't the ball for it.
Yes, and it looked like he got a bit of bat onto that as we see the replay. And that's what pressure does. It forces you to try something new. And that was a good opportunity there for the Cyclones, and they've taken that opportunity because they managed to get a dot out of it, and there's only 3 overs remaining.
And what do they need? They need 13 runs.
So they need, yes, 13 off the last 18 balls.
Is it 13? No, 20.
Yep.
Yeah, 13 to win. So this is a crucial over, isn't it?
Absolutely.
This is the one. If you can hold them here to a couple,
yeah,
and then leave them with 11 to make in 2 overs, that's not easy.
And it's a funny game, cricket. It's a very funny game, and this is, I was about to say, the Storm will be hoping to get this done before the last over of the game, just to avoid that pressure situation. But at the same time, if you try and go for the runs now and you lose a wicket, that creates a whole lot of trouble for the batter coming in.
Yeah.
So you got to find that balance, and it's very tough, and it's really tight, this contest, and it's a great game, really.
So
and that's
might have run him out.
Oh.
No, close.
And
he took off and was sent back.
The umpire
did he get the run?
Has given it not out. And this is going to be interesting to see this replay. Oh,
yeah, he had to get back. Fry sent him back. And he probably would have been, Fry probably would have been run out if he'd gone.
And I'll tell you what, that's very close. That almost looked out.
17.1 overs. Not far to go.
And that should be a wide.
That's a wide. That's a bit of a waste. Is that pressure brings that on, or is it
absolutely? It's pressure brings that on, and it's look, you haven't asked the right person. I'm a wicketkeeper batter, but I'm trying to guess. I think it's the pressure.
So this is Oates bowling.
And
good work.
And that's brilliant.
Gee, they're keeping them.
Yeah.
The Cyclones are doing well here.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Because the Storm looked favourites to win this game almost from the onset, you know.
Big time.
Right through the innings of the Cyclone, they looked like they had their measure. And even during this one, they're batting, they still looked good. But now it's come to the pointy end. I'm not so sure.
And, oh no. So that's going to cost them 2 runs, maybe even 3.
Oh, that's bad luck, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's unfortunate for the Cyclones. They've managed to... Jack Edwards, the captain, has gone for the throw at the stumps. And unfortunately, no one was backing it up. So it's gone for 2 overthrows.
But, you know, in hindsight, you're better off not having a go at the stumps.
Correct.
Probably not. If there's no one backing up, you can see that. Don't do it. That's good fielding.
That's well fielded from Jackson Edmondson.
So 10 from 15 required. Simon 3, Fry yet to score.
So
that's just the replay.
And they've done well this over because they're still in this game, the Cyclones. And what I really liked is that the fielders that are inside the ring are nice and tight, saving that one. Because dot balls are the key here.
So who's the favourite to win it from this situation?
Oh, I think the Storm are comfortably probably the favourites. But always, I'm cheering for the Cyclones.
Oh, that is out.
And there you go. That's brought about a big wicket from Keegan Oates, well bowled, and Dean Fry has managed to just sky one up, and it's gone straight into the hands of Jack Edwards. Great catch, and I tell you what, the momentum is swinging again, and the Cyclones are a sniff again.
So Fry was out there for 3 balls and didn't get a run.
And there you go. And as we can see on screen, Nick Larkin and Jack Edwards just chatting now. There's so many different scenarios, and it's always good as a captain. You don't want to get fed too much information, but if there is a good piece of information that someone's got, you always want it shared because it can sometimes help. But you don't want too much where it starts becoming quite frustrating and a nuisance.
And you know the good thing, when you've got them 6 for, that means batsmen 7 and 8 are out there. so in normal cricket, that's the tail. You're already bowling to the tail.
Yeah, and you raise a good point, because in normal cricket, you're right, but in this cricket, the people bat, the teams bat so deep.
You're right down.
Yeah, because the squads are there's 15 people in the squad, so they bat very deep.
So here's Oates continuing on. Good bowling.
Well bowled there from Keegan, and that's the over. So that's a great over. They picked up the wicket, and the game is still in the balance.
So the run rate has come down to 3.86 now with just 2 overs to go. Up and about the Cyclones, they believe they can win it. And if you looked at the last 10 minutes, you'd say, well, they're a real chance of winning this, the Cyclones. They've owned the last 10 minutes, haven't they? Yeah. Really?
Yep. They have, and they've put them under pressure, really. You know, that last wicket we saw, that's a pressure shot. When you can't just get an easy single, that forces the batters to try and force something rather than being comfortable. Yeah. So at the moment, with this field they've got, they're just working through it now. It looks like they've got 5-leg third man back. They've got the cover out and deep square leg. but they've got that. Everyone in the V is in the infield, so they can really force the batter to try and hit square. So I like this field that they've set, and they can create some dot balls.
That's what it's going to rely on. And the run rate, the required run rate has gone up from 3.8. Is that overthrows again?
No, I think it's come off the foot of the batter there. So good sportsmanship shown there, not taking the run because it did come off the batter's foot.
Right.
And that's good batting there because he's placed that into a spot where he can get a quick single, low risk, and they've managed to pick up a run.
So 132's the target.
11 balls remaining, 8 runs to win. Oh, and well fielded there. And as you can hear from his teammates, it's brilliant fielding there from Nick Larkin, showing the way, putting his body on the line.
He's a good cricketer, Larkin. I'm really impressed with him. I've seen him 2 matches in a row now, and he's been...
Yeah, he is. And
very good.
And to top it off, look at this fielding effort. You know, he's put his body on the line there, and that's brilliant. And it's good for his teammates to see just how much effort he's putting in. And look, that's a handy few runs there for the Southern Storm. Run out chance.
Oh, dead hit. No, umpire shakes his head. Brilliant fielding, great throw at the stumps. He probably only had one to aim at.
Let's see the replay of this because they are not happy at all about that decision.
Oh, we're not going to be able to tell.
Ooh.
Oh, well.
Look, it looked close.
Yeah.
And they weren't happy. And a great piece of fielding there from Jack Edwards. Clutch moment in the game, and he's managed to hit the stumps. He was on a very tough angle as well. He only had one stump to see, maybe a little bit more than one stump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Guthrie.
Oh, and there's a chance here.
Yeah, they're running out. They have.
That's a big run out there.
So they pick up just one run for that.
No run there, and Jack Edwards, that's an amazing run out. He's just could have had 2 run outs in a row, but he's just the ball after the very next ball. He takes his chance. Great throw, and great piece of keeping there from Banjo to be clean and composed and take the stumps off. And this game is turning on its head yet again. And the Cyclones are back in it, and they're a chance again.
Isn't it amazing? It's swung from one side to the other side.
Absolutely.
Kudra?
And I think that Blade Baxter coming in now, and I imagine he would probably be a little bit nervous.
So who was running out then? It was...
So it's 6 to win. And there's 9 balls remaining here. Yeah, so it's been quite an interesting game. They needed 36 off 38, and now they need 6 off 9 balls. So close contest, that's for sure. And it's actually 6 off 8 balls as we get the update on the screen.
So Guthrie, he's been asked to bowl at the death. And who'll bowl the last over?
We're up for a really good contest here. I'm not sure. It's a good question, who'll bowl the last over. But these 2 balls are very crucial. They could get the job done in these last 2 balls here. They only need 6 to win, so it's really important.
Well pitched up, Yorker.
And brilliant there. Brilliant from the infielders of the Cyclones to be, they're really alert and stopping every run here.
It was a good bowl too. The Yorker is always difficult to get away.
Spot on, Charlie. Yeah, always tough to hit a Yorker. And how well did he execute that?
Did well. Wow.
So 6 off 7 balls now. Liam Guthrie bowling well here, creating some good pressure.
Last ball from Guthrie. And a shot again.
And another chance for the Cyclones to pick up a wicket.
Right.
And that was a chance, and they could have been 9 down. This is certainly going to be an interesting last over. 5 to win off 6 balls. Keegan Oates with the throw there. And as you can see on screen, he is slightly annoyed that he just missed the stumps. But a great effort from him, and that's brilliant.
And that's with the new cricket as it is, that's one of the real features of it, their ability to hit those stumps on run-outs.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it here already a couple of times, haven't we? At least 3 times.
Absolutely, and it's 4 off 6 balls to win now.
So two dot balls they want at the start of the over.
Yep. So I think, just for the listeners, the target. So the City Cyclones actually they made 131. So the target is 132 to win. So the target is what score they need to win. So it's 4 off 6 for the last over, and
so Keegan Oates is a bowler.
Keegan Oates will take the last over, and he's the Tasmanian, and yes, he's bowled 3 overs, 1 for 23. So important here that he doesn't leak too many runs. And
do you know what we could get here?
Oh,
A tie.
a super over.
Then we have a super over, which would be good.
I'll tell you what, and they're a chance, because I know that we said before that teams bat deep and their last few batters can still bat, but they're still lower order batters, so the Cyclones are certainly a chance here as they just move the side screen, and yes, Jack Edwards, the captain, moving the side screen with Yash. He's got everything on his hands, Jack Edwards, the captain.
Now, how do they set the field? This is going to be interesting. Because you don't want them to... There's a big gap out on this side here.
Yeah.
For a mid-wicket shot, so wouldn't want to bowl short.
So I can't... They've got a fine leg in place. Oh, and it's gone down to mid, long on.
Only going to get 1.
Well fielded there from Yash.
So
3 to win off 5.
3 from 5.
And they're going to have to bring the field in here because, yeah, they want to take this deep and they want to take it hopefully to the last ball. And as you can see there, Nick Larkin going into the discussion just to provide some thoughts. 5 balls left in the game.
Well, rule number 1, it's not to be short. Don't bowl a short ball.
Yeah.
Got to be pitched up and not full toss. Well pitched up.
Yeah. 3 from 5.
I'd drop the fielders back a bit. Give them 1 run, but don't let them beat the fielder.
They've got to be stopping 1 in the infield if they're fielding in.
There's a full toss.
And that's gone to deep square. Campbell Callaway running in hard. And he's done well because he's kept them to a single. And now it's 2 off 4 balls. So they're going to have to bring some fielders in here to try and stop them from getting these runs comfortably. They're going to need a few dots here.
Would he have bowled the full toss deliberately?
No, I don't think he would have. I think he would have been trying to go for the Yorker. And he's just slightly too full, overpitched. Yeah. But plenty of hand signalling going on here because, and it's important for the team, the Cyclones, to take their time and make sure the field's set. As you can see, they've got their box fielders right in close, so they're trying to save 1. And it's 2 to win off 4 balls.
So Baxter on strike. He's on 2 from 3. Is that full toss again?
And
that's the game.
Baxter's just...
I didn't understand the full toss, I must say.
A great job there from the Storm. That's a brilliant finish, and Blade Baxter, great shot there. He's just pumped that through nice and comfortably. So great effort from him, and as we see the replay here,
that's just too easy to hit.
Yeah, just a miss execution.
Yeah. Good game of cricket.
was a great game, and as Mac Wright is here, he's quite happy pointing at us, and he's quite happy, isn't he, Charlie?
He is indeed. So he should be.
And Kyle, look at Kyle just behind him. He's also pretty happy as well.
They look happy. So Mac Wright was fantastic with his 63, wasn't he, off 45 balls. It was a great performance from him. Josh Kahn, 19 off 14 balls. Good performance from him. And on the other side of the ledger, Jack Edwards, 44 runs from 34, was the outstanding player in the Cyclones batting lineup. But Larkin is my pet at the moment, 29 off 27. We saw him make 39, I think, on Sunday, and here 29 again today. He's been very good. And in the bowling, Hunter, 3 for 19 from his overs with a rate of 4 per wicket. But it's pretty good, pretty good. 2 for 22, Khan, 2 for 30, Blade Baxter, Guthrie 1, Keegan Oates 1, and Edmondson 1. Good game of cricket. Sum it up for us, Max.
Yeah, it started off with the Southern Storm. You know, they came out and, they came out and they took that first wicket early, which was good. But then the City Cyclones fought back, and it was the two big bash players, Jack Edwards and Nick Larkin, leading the way with their superb partnership, which put the Southern Storm under the pump, and the City Cyclones were looking, as we said, they were looking like they were going to get 160, but the Southern Storm managed to break that partnership, and they reduced that score right down to 131, which put them really in the box seat. And then they came out and they were led by their captain, Mac Wright, who's had a fantastic tournament so far up in the Northern Territory, and it just continued today, getting a half century of 63 off 45 balls, and he really just steered the ship and took them almost all the way to victory. But the Cyclones stuck in that second innings, and they just kept taking wickets, and they gave themselves many little chances of winning the game, but it just wasn't good enough. And in the end, the Southern Storm, they were able to do it, and the Cyclones, they were just about 20 runs too short, I think. If they were about 15 more runs, I think it would have been a lot closer, and they would have been right in it with a good chance of winning.
All right, those comments from Max. So good to have you on the program, Max. Will we see you back doing some more cricket commentary?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're on again together, Charlie. So I'm looking forward to that. And thanks for keeping me company. And it's been great today. I've really enjoyed it. So great to share the commentary box with you.
Good to have you on board, I must say. Congratulations to the Southern Storm, home 8 for 134 to the City Cyclones, 7 for 131. That's about it from us. Max and Charlie saying goodbye.